everybody, how's it going on this
Hello,
rainy, dreary, horrible week? We get like a few days of sun. I don't know how it is across the country, and then it is all rain and misery.
And then
But
lightning
it's
almost takes people out.
good
and drives
times to
Walmart.
watch horror. Yeah, a lot of thunderstorms. It's a good time to watch horror movies. So how y'all doing this week? Marcus?
Good. No complaints, man. No complaints. Just good to be here with everybody.
Lucas, how about you?
I am good. I'm tired. I'm sleepy.
It's the rain, man. It's the gloomy weather. It's like exhausting.
We're not sponsored, but I have a Baja drink. So,
I have a rum and coke. I have a rum and coke. Noah, how are you doing this week?
Drink, Marcus.
Water.
I'm with
Noah,
an Adidas cup. I'm doing all right. I mean, it's been a in a secretive way. It's been a bit of a creative week. I can't say anything, but we've been talking. I've been talking to a couple people over here about a couple of 2-3 things.
Definitely
hanging out,
King Matthews.
Yeah.
Look at this. King Matthews with us. He got pretty lucky. Friday, a tornado touchdown in his hometown, and wow, did little damage to his house. Man, thank God for that.
Dude.
Yeah,
man. I've experienced a tornado like driving away from one. Funnel dropped down like right behind us as we were driving away. So yeah, that's some scary.
I'm okay. I'll take the sinkholes and the potholes over in PA.
Yeah, that is my biggest fear is tornadoes. Like, oh my God, I've never been one, never seen one other than on TV, but it looks like just
I don't know. I think I'd rather get launched by a tornado than overtaken by a tsunami.
I don't know what's the problem. It looks like so much fun, guys. It looks like such
They have
a
amusement park rides named after them.
It's like you're on that swing ride at like Knoebels. You're just spinning.
Yeah, minus the trauma.
Nope.
The
That just
blood
looks like
trauma
pure.
slammed into
It
the
looks
building
like
in Mach 5.
Tornadoes look like hell on earth. I'm sorry. They just look like pure evil. They just.
I've seen a tornado at night.
Oh, you passed a few cows and trucks in the air, 50 feet off the ground. It's no big deal.
All right. So, because Lucas is being an insensitive asshole, we're gonna move on. All right. So we're gonna talk about Final Destination. Wow, that kind of dropped this week. It was expected to be pretty big. I know, Marcus, you were talking about it a couple weeks ago. You thought it was going to be a big opening, and it's done 51 million here domestically. It's done 51 million globally, so it's at 102 million dollars. It's only 84 million dollars behind the top grossing film in the entire franchise, which was Part 5.
Yeah.
So it's off to a really good start. Noah and Lucas, I don't think you boys have seen it.
I haven't seen it, no, but I have a date, and I'm going to see it on a date with a real person.
With a real person. Okay, yeah. So Marcus and I saw.
I'm in a weird mood right now. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm in such a weird mood.
You're giddy about the date.
It's the Baja
Is that that's? Wait a minute. All right, before we talk about what me and Marcus thought about the movie, so Lucas, is the girl at least like horror?
Yeah, she's believe it or not, she actually just graduated college for film.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice. Okay. But that doesn't mean she likes horror. That just means she graduated school for film.
She made I guess like a thriller film for like one of her like her
capstone class.
Yeah, something along those lines. I remember watching it, and it was like somewhat of like a thriller, like a rom-com thing. At least from what I gathered, I'm not smart, so we go off of what we see. But yeah, no, she seems cool. She seems to like horror. She seemed excited to see Final Destination, so I'm excited.
All right.
Obviously,
all right.
I love these movies. I love these movies so much. Oh.
We'll talk about it. So Tyler's going to see Final Destination tomorrow, so we're not going to talk spoilers. We're not going to talk spoilers.
Yeah. Two of us have not seen this movie yet either.
Yeah, if spoiler talk comes up, we'll throw up a massive message and a warning. But usually we wait about a month or so before we end up talking spoilers. But Marcus, what's your thoughts on Final Destination? I know we talked a little bit about it.
King Matthew just nailed it on the head. It's definitely better than part 4. I would say it's a solid film. Great send off to Tony Todd, man. And as I share with you, for those that have seen the movie, it hit home for me personally because the words that he said in the film is similar to something that he said to me around the last time I was around him. He knew that I had COVID, and he pretty much shared the same exact sentiment that he did in the film with me personally, and I'm grateful for that, and grateful to have gotten to be around him and know him, on a personal level the past few years. And prayers to his family, prayers to his sister Monique, and his kids and his wife. Yeah.
Yeah, I will tell you this. Like, this is not really a spoiler because we all know that this is Tony Todd's final performance. It's not his last film. But if you're a Tony Todd fan, you gotta bring a tissue or a handkerchief or
Mhm.
whatever with you because his speech in it is geared towards the movie, but the way it is delivered and hits, it's like he knew what was coming in his life, and the speech is really to all of his fans watching. It's kind of an eerie thing to watch and hearing him deliver that speech.
Yeah.
So, mhm.
Yeah, it was a bit
Can't wait to
surreal,
cry
man.
when I go see this movie.
Well, like I posted, I
Yeah,
haven't
yeah,
cried in a movie since The Green Mile, man, and this one had me like bawling like I was a little baby, dude. Like,
mhm,
even my date was like, what's wrong with
mhm,
you? So
yeah.
yeah.
All right,
Understand.
CG is with us. Hey, CG, how's it going? King Matthew says that his first Tony Todd film was Candyman. He watched it when he was 6. Oh,
For
yeah,
me,
I
it
didn't
was
see it
Lean
until I
on
was
Me.
an adult.
For me, it was
Ah,
Lean on Me. He was the security guard with that movie with Morgan Freeman. So yeah.
yep. That would be the first film that I saw him in too, and it would probably be around when I was 9 or 10. I didn't see Candyman until I
Yeah.
was an adult. So, and
I
I'll
was in the
tell
8th
you this.
grade when Candyman came out.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you this. I told a few people this story, but like when I first saw Candyman, I fell asleep on it, and I woke up on the headless Rottweiler scene, and it's like, oh my god, what the hell is going on? What's the screaming? Where's all the blood? It's like, oh my god, that was absolutely pure terror, pure terror. All right, so I'll kick us off talking about Final Destination. So, is it better than 4? Yeah, I tend to like all the odd films. One's my all-time favorite. I remember watching 1 almost about every single day after I came out. 2 is fantastic. 3 is fantastic. 5 is really good, and then I would say this one is battling number 2 for the 4th spot.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah, I
I,
say 3, 1, 2, 5, and then this one. Yeah,
yeah.
and then
Uh,
4, of course, by itself.
What kind of took me out of the film right away was the use of CGI. King Matthew,
Yeah,
let me know what you thought of the CGI in it. But the CGI of them,
it was bad.
yeah, it's very noticeable. It's almost
Mhm.
as noticeable as Blade 2. I don't know if everybody's seen Blade
Mhm.
2, where you see Wesley Snipes jumping around doing all those acrobatics. So it's kind of like early 2000s CGI kind of feel. Story is okay. I like the story. I was really digging the
Mhm.
story before going into seeing the movie to learn about the Bloodlines, but there's a plot hole. If you haven't seen it yet, let me know in the comments here or shoot by Facebook and let me know if you pick up on the plot hole because Marcus didn't. But it's a fun movie. It's a fun movie. I enjoyed it. The older brother, I forget his name at the moment, but the guy with the nose ring. He kind of steals
Yeah.
every scene that he's in. He made it
Yeah.
really enjoyable, so I really liked watching the movie for him being in it. Uh,
Mhm.
Kills were okay. Some of them, I will tell you, there was a lot of times I was like, "Oh my god!" I was yelling out in the theaters because they were pretty damn shocking. But
Brutal. Yeah.
yeah, I think this might be like one of the Final Destination films where I don't know how often I'm going to go back to it. That's the thing, right? Like
Mhm.
1, I always watch. I love number 3. The roller coaster scene is amazing.
Mhm.
5, for as good as it was, I haven't really gone back to it much. But like 2, after our opening scene that's terrified the entire world, I'm kind of out of it. And but that yeah, I think it's okay. It's a fun movie. It's definitely worth seeing in the theaters, especially if you're a fan of the franchise itself. Marcus, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, like I give it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. Like we talked about, man, the CGI kind of takes you out of it. Like I don't know if they used the LED wall or volume stage or what green screen, but it was just very noticeable. But again, the story was really probably one of the better stories. But like you pointed out, that plot hole with regards to the entire franchise that stands out for me now. But yeah, overall, it was an enjoyable film, man. And I pray to God that they just leave it alone and don't try to make another movie. Or the rumor is the creator wants to do a series. I say just leave it alone. End it like this with Tony Todd riding off to the
If you want that
sunset.
series, just watch 1,000 Ways to Die.
Yeah.
Ron Perlman narrates. It's good enough.
Yeah. You know what? Starting off the year, we had the monkey, and the monkey was almost going down that Final Destination route, and I was really enjoying what I saw in the monkey. And I don't like the monkey, honestly. The ending was absolute shit in the movie. It made no sense with the rest of the movie. I don't know if you all seen it out there or not, but the monkey was okay. Like the popcorn bucket is 10 times better than the movie is. But like the monkey. Yeah, the movie picked up the torch of Final Destination really well, but they didn't kind of deliver throughout the entire movie. Lukas, man, you're slurping into the microphone there, buddy.
every podcast,
Like, what the hell?
we slurping on something.
But yeah, that's my thoughts on it. Just to go back to Tony Todd real quick. So Tyler said his first Tony Todd experience was in Final Destination 1. No, do you remember the first Tony Todd movie that you've seen?
I actually looked up his movie history. Yeah, and I think it's either The Crow or it's the remake of the original Night of the Living Dead from 1990. It's one of those two movies. I think it's probably The Crow that I watched in its entirety first, because I think the first time I watched the reboot, it was on TV and I watched like halfway through. But it's one of those two movies.
Yeah, a lot of people don't even realize that he's in it because he looks different. Yeah, his voice is a little bit different.
Yeah.
What, in The Crow or Night of the Living Dead?
Yeah, The Crow.
The Crow.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is. It's like more softer and more, laid back. Even though he was like an evil.
His outfits are really I've never seen Tony Todd wear those outfits.
What he had on,
I think
like
the
a
first time I watched it, I
fedora,
didn't realize he was in that
sunglasses.
either.
Yep. Lukas, how about you? Remember your first film that you seen Tony Todd in?
Yeah, Platoon. Yeah, my dad loved that movie.
Yeah, good one.
Yeah, I think it was Warren. It was his name in the movie or something.
Yeah,
but yeah, no, that was a good movie. I can't remember like specific scenes or anything, but I definitely remember watching it with my dad. It was very interesting. It was a very interesting experience.
What do they call that when the soldiers get crazy because of what's going
Shell
on?
shock, right?
Yeah. He played that role so good, man.
I'll have to watch it now. I wonder what it's on.
CG
All
said
right,
it
let's
too. The
move
first
on
time
to
he
our-
saw him was Lean on Me.
Yeah, that's such a good
the
movie
Tubi
too.
movie
That's such a
included.
really good movie.
People forget though he was the Rocket Man in The Rock with Nicolas Cage and Sean Connery.
He's got a massive catalog of films out there. So
Yep.
Well, let's move on to our second piece of news and stop talking about depressing things on a horrible week of weather. So we're going to talk about Brie Larson. I don't know what your guys' thoughts are on Brie Larson, but we could talk about that in a second. But she is going to be in a new creature feature from J.J. Abrams. I don't know if everybody kind of remembers, but J.J. Abrams did Star Trek. He's done Cloverfield. He's done Super 8. He's done so many great things. And
Star Wars.
I like.
I'm actually kind of looking. I'm actually kind of looking forward to this because like Brie is kind of hit and miss for me. Like she's a miss for me in the MCU, but like when she does other stuff, like she did that movie with Michael B. Jordan and Jamie Foxx, that was based on a true story. She was phenomenal in that. So I'm kind of looking forward to this.
The Oscar.
Yep, she's won an Oscar. Yep.
Well,
And
was
then
that
I liked her in whatchamacallit, Scott Pilgrim. I liked her in
she excels in serious roles.
Yeah.
Not so much in like the super comedic, unless it's like she's like playing.
She was also in Lessons in Chemistry. She was also in that show, and she was also very good in that show. Guys, watch the show. It's not a horror show, but it it sucks, man. Like it's a sad show, but it's really good. But yeah, so Bob from Thunderbolts is in it, and Brie Larson's in it. They're the two main characters.
Nice.
It's on Apple TV.
Yep.
But yeah, she's really great in serious roles. My opinion on Brie Larson is that she's a very underrated. Like the hate that she gets is really weird because she is a good actress. Captain Marvel just like as a script wasn't that great.
Yeah, they didn't write her well, man. All the talent she has, they just did not write her well at all in that character.
Yeah, and we'll talk a little bit about the movie more, but like, so we have Brie Larson was a badass in Fast X.
She was.
And How She Will Do. She was funny.
They didn't write her well in that either.
Yeah, but what kind of pisses me off about the whole situation with Brie Larson is she appeared in the MCU, got so much hate from fans. It's like, which fandom is the more toxic? Is it wrestling? Is it the MCU, Star Wars, and even Scream's starting to be that way too? But she got so much. Yeah, she got so much flack that she ended up almost practically starving herself and lost all that weight afterwards too. It's just like, leave the girl alone. Leave the girl alone. She did fine. She did fine in that movie. And then she was in Skull Island. She did a good job in Skull Island too.
Loved her in Skull Island. Loved her in Skull Island.
Oh yeah, that was a good movie.
Yeah, I get the Marvel fan frustration of it because like as a Marvel,
but they took it out on. It's like kind of like taking.
No. Like I get the frustration, not the action, but like as a Marvel comic fan, like I love Carol Danvers in the comics because she's actually has decent character arcs and a genuinely likable personality. But for some reason in the movies, they just made her like. I'm not gonna lie. It feels like they turned her into what Black Widow was before she started getting all of her character. Where she was just like cool badass, doesn't have any issues unless it's like being stated directly to you. Like she was just very flat character. In the Marvels, she was a little bit better, but just in most of the things, even in her solo movies, she's just very flat, and that's I think where a lot of the frustration comes from. The pure like hatred of her in this role is
weird.
Reasonable at all.
Yeah, it's not warranted at all.
I genuinely think that if they
Rachel Zegler for Snow White, she didn't fail
if
that
they
movie.
If they wrote her part better, like I guarantee people would be championing her like they do Scarlett Johansson with Black Widow. Like,
well, I don't know if you guys remember, like one of the first problems that they had with the whole thing was they announced her to be the new leader of the Avengers before it ever happened. It's like, all right, so she's going to lead us in the next phases of films. And then that was it. People just went off after that, and it was never forgiving. But let's see. So King Matthews got a comment on there. To be fair, I never saw her in Captain Marvel, so I can't say if Brie was bad or not in that. I stopped watching the Marvel stuff after
it was just terrible writing. Yeah, it's like the same thing as Iron Man 3. It was just terrible writing.
Yeah.
And a lead role can only do so much in the realm of them just trying to push content out before Infinity War to get you hype and buying more product. Because that's what that movie was, really. It had no, like, they teased Ronan, but there's nothing that's going to come out of that because he died in Guardians. So it's like, it's like, oh, we're going to come back for the girl. Well, that's not going to happen because he's dead. So, like, it was just shitty writing. There was not like they gave us the suit. He's got the mohawk right at the end, and that was it. And it was just lazy, boring. It was nothing to do with Brie Larson as a whole, though. The hate for it was just so. It was very It was very comic nerdy, childish ranting for people who are getting pissed off.
Now, I think CG called it out in the comments pretty good, is that J.J. Abrams is 50-50 when it comes to films and stuff like that. So this one is based off of a short story. It's about a creature. It's a creature feature, and it's told from the perspective of a kid, and his parents are hiding a secret about his mother. So it sounds like it's going to be like a PG-13 family type of horror movie. So I don't know.
It kind of sounds like what was the one movie? I still haven't seen it yet, but it stars Anthony Starr and what's her name from Cloverfield and True Blood. Was it Cobweb or Cops? You said the movie wasn't that good though. You know, the guy from the boys that played Homelander, and they had the little boy, and the parents are like mean to him or something like that. They're in like a haunted house or something. That's what it sounds like to me.
I probably have blocked that movie title out of my brain because it wasn't that good. Because there's a few
Hold on,
that are
let me
like
look
that.
it up.
Might I interject an opinion about a PG horror movie?
I hate
Go ahead.
PG.
So, to those who don't
That's
think it's
good.
good, I grew up on the Goosebumps from the '90s is pretty campy and kind of shit acting, but The Haunting of R.L. Stein's The Haunting of was a really good TV series with some pretty good horror sequences, and that was like, you know, that's PG in the essence of filmmaking. So if you want to employ your childlike wonder and go watch that wherever it's at, like I would say, because like also the new Goosebumps show that came out, that got a lot of good reviews from kids and adults, and that would be related to PG horror as well. So I mean, I think it just really depends. It once again just depends on writing. Like if you make it like is so childish that it's garbage just for kids to enjoy as well, then yeah, it's not going to be good. But The Haunting of, that was for kids and that was for teens. That was good writing. That was a good show. And then the new Goosebumps as well. Like I mean, granted, that's
The new
R.L.
Goosebumps
Stein, but
is fucking scary. Like the new Goosebumps has
yeah,
some real disturbing ass scenes.
but it's on
in it.
Disney. It's marketed for kids. It's marketed for kids still. Well, like,
It's still
like,
very much a Goosebumps story.
Yeah,
well, Coraline's PG.
Well. Yeah, that's
Coraline is
yeah.
PG.
Coraline's PG. And Coraline's
Yeah.
like, Coraline's a great movie. You know, you can also talk about like Tim Burton's films as well, because like they're technically kid stuff, but they do some heavy stuff. Like Beetlejuice, that's for kids, but a lot of adult sequences and a lot of adult oriented like talk as well.
Nah, he said fuck in the second one. We're good. That's fine.
Yeah, CG is right. I was talking about Cobweb.
Yep. Now, well, I know we touched on it, or no, you kind of brought it up. You know, an actress can only do so much with the movie, and that brings me to the other movie I saw this week, Hurry Up Tomorrow. Oh boy, man. I was sold because it was Jenna Ortega. It's like Jenna Ortega's in this movie. Didn't really pay much attention to the trailers. Didn't want to kind of get spoiled by it. Then I went to go see it, and it's like, damn.
You're not the only one,
Thank God
man.
I
I've
have a
heard that
movie
from
fest.
so many people.
Yep.
The Weeknd is
It
not an
was
actor.
good.
I don't know why they trying to make him an actor, but he's not an actor.
Oh wait, is that the one where is that the Weekend movie where like I've been seeing the trailer for it where he's like, you know, those people are here for you, they're here to listen to you.
Yep, that's it.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
The
I
only
can't even
role
like say
that I
anything.
like the Weekend in is there's a show that I think is on Max. And I think it's his first acting role.
That was
ever.
bad.
It was
The one with Johnny Depp's daughter.
The only reason I like it is because I love the way that he there's just one scene where he confronts this guy that's like being handsy with his girlfriend.
I know what you're talking about.
And I don't know what it is. That scene just gets me so like.
Now Lily Depp was good in the show, but he was horrible though.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, he can't act for shit. That's okay. He can sing. He can leave it at that.
Yeah, but it's not his acting in the movie. It's the story, the way it's being told. Like at one point, I was like, "Is this movie not going to have any dialogue?" Because it really didn't start off with any dialogue. There was just stuff happening, and there was talking in around people. So I was like, "This is an interesting take on a movie." So I'm kind of in on it, but the story doesn't really ever go anywhere. It's like I didn't really have. I was sitting there not paying attention, and I knew what was going on. But it's a movie. If I don't know if you guys are going to get it, it's a movie. If where you got up, went up to the bathroom, and came back, you probably be lost because you don't know what's going on. Even though it didn't go anywhere, you would be lost because of the way the movie is just laid out. And why I bring it up is because I think about almost 2 hours in, Jenna Ortega finally gets a scene that she can chew on, and it's like a sentence or two of dialogue, and it's like, wow, if you would have stayed with what she was going with in those two sentences, you would have saved the entire film. But yeah, that was just a very.
It makes
very
me
bad
wonder
film.
if she's usually like very selective of the roles she take. So I wonder if she just
Mhm.
did this because of the fact, oh, I get to work with the weekend. You know what I mean? Like it makes me wonder why she did the movie because it's not for the money. It's not for the money. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
you
but she's
know.
not
So
making any
yeah,
off
it
of
makes
Yep.
me wonder.
Yeah, CG's got the weekend and his storylines that he tries to make, like his songs to the movies. That GD and his music is GD. Yep. Well, this is in support of his album. I think it's an album of the same movie title. So it's a long commercial for the album, and it
So
failed.
yeah, okay. So then it was
A bad
it was
representation
doomed
of
from
what
the start.
Transformers did.
He's not Michael Jackson. You know, he can't just rip out a movie out of his ass and then it become an international success. Everybody knows the
Mhm.
Yeah, you
weekend.
can't just do a Thriller music video.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, no, everybody knows the weekend's not an actor. We've seen it before. It's nothing against the guy. Like I'm sure he's got big ambitions, but music is truly his strong suit until he gets acting down.
Mhm. So that brings me over to our next topic. So a lot of people are talking about that new movie Weapons, and that was based off of the teaser where you see the little kids running across the street in the off the cameras and stuff like that. Now, honestly, I wasn't really sold on the trailer, like that teaser trailer. Like it's like, okay, it looks a little creepy, but I don't know if it's really gonna pull anything off. Maybe this is the scariest part of the movie. But then the trailer dropped, the full trailer, and I saw this in theaters the other day, and it's got what's her name from Ozarks? It's got Julia Gartner.
Yeah, she's playing the Silver Surfer in Fantastic Four.
Oh, word.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna because I don't want to get flagged for things. But essentially, Julia Gardner's class is where all the kids disappear. That's the kids that we're seeing running on screen and stuff like that.
This
Is
is based off a Reddit
everybody from
short
her
horror
class?
story.
Yes, and only one kid did not run away. So let me see here.
Wait, is
See
it
if I can
directed by
find
the guy
something.
who made The Barbarian or by
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
hmm
love that movie. I love that movie.
So August 8th
Okay.
can't get here. Look at this scene here. Look at this scene.
Oh, fuck that.
Right? That's all the kids that disappeared. That is all the kids that disappeared. And now she's going ahead and doing her research. You know what this gives me vibes of?
Village of the
Asian
Damned.
horror stuff.
Oh.
No, Village of how dare you come to this channel and talk about that blasphemy, Village of the Damned? Oh, don't tell me you like that.
I've never seen
Don't
Josh
tell me you like that.
so disheveled. I've never seen Josh Brolin look
Oh
like
shit.
crazy.
Which
Uh,
one?
but,
Taron Egerton or 1995?
Was that Taron Egerton?
Nah, I don't
I
think
don't
he's in it.
So
I don't
this
know.
The one from
movie,
1960 or 1995? Which one? There's two of them.
what? The
Village
Village
of
of
the
the
Damned.
Damned? The
Yeah.
M. Night Shyamalan piece of garbage. Or no, that was The Village. Okay, Marcus, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, I'm
thinking
talking
of The
about
Village.
Stephen King, dude.
Oh, I'm
I was
thinking,
like, what you talking
I
about?
heard The Village. It all just went black for me. But
You know
yeah,
what I think this is, though?
reminds-
You know what I
What?
think this is? If anybody knows the history behind the real history behind the Pied Piper story, that's what this reminds me of.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Oh,
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this she's gonna do research to track these kids down. People in her town hate her and everything like this. This movie makes me think of like early 2000s J horror films, like when we had Tartan Video out there and they were just pumping out all of these great films over here to the States and stuff like that. This seems like it's on the level like that. I think this is gonna be one of the scariest movies of the year. So, you know, everybody last year was talking about Long Legs in August and September. This is that movie for this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
there.
Either that or 28 years later. One of the two.
Yeah, but I don't think 28 years later is going to be scary. I think it's going to be this one. I think this is probably going to be the scariest movie of the year.
One of the actors from The Walking Dead is in there as well. The kid who shot Carl in the eye.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. I just saw him in something else too. What was it?
We hate that guy.
Yeah.
Not as much
Nah,
as
Yeah,
Michelle.
that kid was annoying.
I'm a little hype. It looks interesting. It really does.
It all fell
Yeah,
apart. His argument all fell apart when his mom's like, "Raise your left arm above your head." It's like, well, his argument falls apart.
Yeah, it was just her birthday too. That actress.
Oh, word.
Yep. It was. All right, so that
No.
brings us over to our next story here, and that is Buffy the Vampire Slayer is getting a reboot with Ryan Kiera from Firestarter. So it's
And
been a long
Star
time
Wars.
since we had Buffy. Yeah, let me tell you, before we talked about Buffy, I liked Firestarter, the reboot. I thought it was pretty good. I know it got a lot of flack. Go ahead, Marcus. Tell me why you didn't like it.
I'm torn on it because I love the original so much, man. Like the original, like to this day, is like one of my favorite horror movies. I felt like she was good in it and Zach was good in it, but the movie,
Mhm,
just the feeling of the movie itself, kind of fell apart for me. In comparison to the
mhm,
original film. But again, her and Zach's performance was great. You know, I enjoyed their
mhm.
performances, but the movie as a whole just didn't hit like the original film or the book did, you know. So at least for me.
Yeah. Well,
So
yeah. Now I'll tell you, like I enjoyed the Firestarter, and then I went back and watched the original one right before this one came out. And the one thing that I
mhm.
noticed, like anybody, go out there and watch the original Firestarter, and then take into account some of the things that we've learned over the last couple of years. You know, they were really the dad in that movie was really handsy with Drew Barrymore. Like I was a little uncomfortable watching that movie.
Oh,
Like after a couple of times,
Yeah, well, if
yeah.
you
David
watch
Keith.
Drew Barrymore talk about her past in any given situation, it's always hard to listen to.
Hmm. Yeah, so yeah, it's visible on the screen in that one. It's just like, no, no. I'm probably not gonna ever watch the original Firestarter again because it just doesn't sit right with me seeing that stuff. So no, I can't watch that.
Yeah.
So if you
It's like,
guys
oh
ever go
no,
back
the
and watch
dad
Firestarter,
died.
just
The creepy little dad died.
Oh no.
yeah,
You know what? I guess I never paid attention to that, man. I mean, I don't want to see it, but I was like, I never
mhm,
Yeah.
actually like paid attention to that, man, because I was so engulfed in the
Well,
story, like, you know.
yeah, well, Drew Barrymore's performance in that is also insane. But yeah, the more
Yeah,
when you watch it again, it's like, oh, that's an interesting way
it
to
makes
hold
you
your jaw.
uncomfortable. Yeah, it makes you
mhm,
uncomfortable. Yeah, I never actually paid
yep,
attention to that. Wow.
mhm.
Let me just say
So this is
this.
go ahead. What?
Uh, I really don't think we need another Buffy reboot. I really don't.
All right.
It's getting
How
old.
come?
No, I'm
What's
with
up?
you on that. Yeah, I'm with you on that. So
Like I love what's her name that played Buffy in
The
Kristen
I think it
movie?
was
Swanson,
was it the movie or was it the show that
the
the
movie.
same lady that played Daphne in Scooby Doo?
Sarah Michelle Gellar
That's
was
the
the show.
show.
Yeah.
That's the
Okay.
show.
Mhm,
I liked the show. I loved the show. That show was
mhm,
good. The movie
I'm actually kind of
was
a CG on this
also
one.
very fun, but I don't know. I just also think that Buffy is like a cool idea. It's just hard to keep it relevant. Well, no, you know what? It's not hard to keep it relevant. It's just like I don't know. I think we've seen enough versions of this character now.
I feel
Well,
she's too young though, like 15 for
so
Mm,
that type of
so here's
character.
the
Like,
thing. Like,
yeah.
so I'll pull it up here so we can all see it. But what it says here is it was previously reported that Buffy the Vampire Slayer reboot will focus on a new Slayer that was described as a cerebral 16-year-old named Nova, likely a placeholder name. So this isn't a Buffy remake of the series or the movie. It's just a continuation of the previous story that was out there. So this is a brand new Slayer. I guess what we'll probably end up seeing is maybe Buffy in the show returning as Sarah Michelle Gellar, or Sarah Michelle Gellar returning as Buffy, maybe as a mentorship role. Now, I wanted to bring
I
this
would
up
be
because,
cool with that. I
yeah,
would be cool with that. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Now, originally, what Sarah Michelle Gellar wanted to do is she wanted to reboot the series, but have her daughter, her real life daughter, in the series
Mhm.
as picking up the torch from her. So I thought that would have been cool too. So you have Buffy's real life, or Sarah Michelle Gellar's real life daughter playing Buffy's daughter on camera. I thought that would have been pretty cool.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm glad that she's back to acting. Period. Sarah Michelle
Hmm.
Gellar, because she took a break for a while and she did that werewolf TV series on MTV that wasn't good. That was based on a
Hmm.
series of books because they ruined the books. The books were actually pretty good. Wolfpack.
Hmm.
Um, so I'm glad that if this is the case where she's playing Buffy again, and like you said, the mentor,
Hmm.
yeah, I'll be totally down for that. You know.
Hmm. Yeah. So, Lucas, does that change your thoughts on the show at all, or no?
It's an interesting take. I like it better than them just like trying to reboot it completely.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I like continuations more because that just adds
Yeah.
to the story rather than
Yeah.
trying to retell it.
Yep.
Like a new
That's
generation, man. That'd be cool.
Yep. I do like that. I like the continuation of the stories. No, what's your thoughts on it?
Well, so I'm kind of with CG on this. The movie, it was funny, but that does not mean it was good. It was an okay movie. I don't know if I'd
It
go
was
back
cheesy
to it.
good. Cheesy
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
It was
that's the
just
thing. Like
stupid,
you
but
know, like
good.
it was funny. It was okay.
Eh.
It was funny, right? Like it was funny, but it's not good. And the TV
Yeah.
series, like I never got into it. Like it's too drama-y. So if this show, like if Sarah Michelle Gellar would be willing to bring her daughter onto a set, I would assume that she'd want to do something a little bit more serious, like an actual like story progressive show that was not just centered around teenagers being drama teenagers as well. I don't know. I don't care because I don't really have much interest in Buffy to begin with. But if it's more centered around like what the hunters do and the story actually progress with like something other than something late 90s drum shit, I don't care.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I
Personally.
don't ever really get into any of the CW shows because of that whole drama Dawson Creek like
Oh, is it
story that they bring to everything.
CW?
Yeah, it was CW.
Oh, so it's
Yeah.
gonna suck. Okay. Yeah, the Flash, the Arrowverse, the Arrowverse was okay. Like it started out pretty good. But
Hey, Superman and Lois was
I didn't
good.
even watch
That's the
that.
only good
Superman
CW.
and Lois is
Yeah.
actually such a breakout show of that
Yeah.
that series of worlds. Oh my god.
Yeah, Flash got lame after a while.
Mhm.
I mean, but Grant Gustin,
Yeah, so we
he's
got
great
King
Flash, but like
Is the OG Buffy series good? Yes. Until you get to like where it starts to get close to the end, but that's like every CW show ever.
It went on too long.
Even Supernatural, like granted, Supernatural is pretty solid most of the way through, but obviously it had its issues
It went
going
on too
towards the end
long.
as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a CW show.
guys.
So going with those expectations. If you like The Flash, you'll probably like this due to the drama aspect. But
Elijah Dushku, Dave's girl, is phenomenal in it.
the guy,
like
the
almost
guy who
30
plays
years, he
Booth-
was number one on my list. 30 years. Yeah. I have not seen the show, even though that she is in it. But yeah,
she's awesome.
She's been number one on my
badass
list
in
for
the show.
almost 30 years.
Any
I'd probably
fans
go
of
watch
the
it just for her.
Bones TV series? With where they do like the forensic detective work and everything. The guy who plays Agent Seeley Booth plays Angel in that show.
Yeah.
Very good, very likable
Oh,
character.
wasn't Sleepy Hollow on CW as well?
Nah, that was
Yep.
Fox.
Was it Fox? Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it was Fox.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we got CG in there saying Josh Sweden, or is it Josh Sweden?
It's
Yeah,
and
Josh
right-
Whedon. Josh Whedon.
We can call him Sweden because he's an idiot. And
Yeah.
not you, CG,
Hey,
the guy.
oh, Sweden.
And the writing crew did an amazing job for the show. It comes down to the writing and story, but I'm not worried about it. That it was an error thing too. All right, yeah, it was an error thing. I think, yeah, for that time period, I think it really took off. I don't know if you would get lightning in the bottle a second time with it, but I guess we'll see. We'll see.
I mean,
think-
now with the resurgence of vampire films, with the success of Sinners, and then what else came out? Nosferatu and some other vampire stuff coming out. I don't know. It might
still can't
be
believe that as well.
Interview with the Vampire TV series. Like it might capitalize on it. You know what I mean? So. We'll
Yeah,
see.
as long as they don't go down the whole True Blood route, like True Blood went off a cliff after season 3. It just went.
Yeah,
You know what, though?
Stop following the books.
I really like
stop following the books.
I really like this new vampire resurgence. I'm really into it. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of these stories are really creative. And plus, we're getting a Blade video game, by the way.
We ain't getting a Blade movie. That's never happened.
No.
he
We're
said
getting a
video
Blade
game.
video game.
Oh, okay.
We're getting a Blade
yeah,
PS5
Oh yeah,
video
yeah,
game.
yeah.
And it's
Oh, you didn't know about that?
fantastic.
Nope.
Yeah, it's gonna be
There's no,
it's
like,
gonna
official
be
trailer
M for mature.
that's
It's gonna have a
teaser.
lot of blood and gore. We could even possibly talk about it once it releases because it's probably gonna be having some horror. aspects to it.
Insomniac is doing it, right? Insomniac
Well,
is doing it.
I
Yeah.
think it's one of their
Yeah,
sister
oh,
companies.
it
I
is.
think Insomniac is still working on Wolverine right now.
Yeah.
Oh, right, I forgot about Wolverine.
And,
And
they're doing
with
Spider-Man
that-
Wolverine
3.
looks good too. Wolverine looks good as well.
My God, Lucas is like a psychic today because he's just kind of segueing us right into the next topic. Is because the support for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game is ending.
I'm so
Marcus.
pissed.
Yep, go ahead,
I'm
Marcus.
so pissed. You know, I got respect for Gun Media because they're a small team, small team of developers, and they did what they can with the Friday 13 game, which I love. I only played TCM when it first dropped, and then I got distracted with, working on these projects and stuff. And now around the time, some of our colleagues are in it. Damian Maffei, Scout, Bill Mosley, Kane, Hodder are in it. And now that they're not going to support the game anymore, it's pissing me off. And I'm like, they're doing what they do. They start something good, and then they just drop the ball and stop supporting it, man. And it's pissing me off, man.
Riley actually pointed something out before the podcast, like before we started, because I had mentioned that that's what we were talking about with Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and she had said that they do this with all of the horror games that they have, whether they're successful or not. Evil Dead did it. Texas Chainsaw Massacre is doing it now. Friday the 13th did it with a promise of a sequel game, which has yet to even nothing has come out of that. The only one that has really survived is Dead by Daylight.
Yeah,
I don't really see any other horror game that has survived.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Yeah, that game has like that game really didn't even get a start. They just killed it before it came out. So it's like they don't even like give them a chance to really progress any further, even if they are doing successful. Because Friday the 13th was huge. It was a widely popular game when it came out.
So what I think is the issue, unfortunately. Oh no, what I think is the issue, unfortunately, is I think Dead by Daylight is just such a huge game now that a lot of these games end up being like clones of that game with different aspects added or whatever. But it's like at the same time, they probably also realize what's up. No, Dead by Daylight came out in 20.
Yeah, Dead by Daylight came out first.
Yeah, I think it came out like 2015 or something like that. It's an old game. That game has a huge player base. It has a huge following. There's a reason why they get so many like movie deals and stuff like that. But it's also just like a lot of these games come out and they're just kind of like that formula where there's not a lot of innovation. So a lot of players don't really stick to that game when they could be playing Dead by Daylight with all of their friends and like getting different stuff for that. That's my thought, because these games do well for a certain amount of time and then you start seeing the drastic dips in like profit.
But that's the thing. This wasn't dipping. This game has been out since last summer and it's still going strong.
Yeah.
The main problem is all their DLC stuff. All their DLC stuff is too expensive. So if you go get the game now, if you calculate all the DLC, all the skins and the levels and stuff, you're paying an additional $300 on Steam on top of the base game price. So
I mean, you make that
ridiculous.
How much money you put into like Fortnite and other games like that? Like it's the same thing. So like that shouldn't be a reason why it
fits Dead by Daylight as well. Because if you put all like the cosmetics and Dead by Daylight in like a money grinder, you'll probably come out in the thousands. Like it's just that much content. But it's also like Dead by Daylight, it has that much more content too. I think these games just end up competing against each other too often, to where even if it is successful in the sense where like Texas Chainsaw Massacre was huge, I was about to buy the game. I was so excited to play it. Now I'm probably just not even going to do it because like it's like, what's the point if I can't play it soon? But it's just like they're competing against Dead by Daylight, which just has such a much larger market now.
Yeah, like they said they're going to keep it up, so it's still going to be playable for a while, like on Steam and stuff. But I'm like, what's the point if it's not going to be supported? And they'll keep patching it, but they won't update it with anything extra. You know what I mean? So.
See, this is why I like a lot of the games like that Dark Pictures comes out with. The guys that made Until Dawn and all the other like where they have like real actors playing characters in them. Like I like
Mhm.
those games a lot because a lot of their games are connected through the fact that they're all in an anthology book told by the same narrator, and then
Mhm.
Yeah.
you get like where now we have the Until Dawn movie, which personally I'm not going to see because it looks awful.
It's not that bad.
It looks pretty
You didn't
bad.
play the
It
game.
looks
You didn't play the
bad.
game.
It looks really bad. But no, like it's just like I like games like those because they put you in a different atmosphere of horror
Yeah, the
games than
narrative.
those Dead by Daylight like
Mhm.
games.
Yeah,
And
like
I
Heavy
think that's
Rain.
where that's where a lot of horror games can really like flourish is if they start innovating with new
Mhm.
ideas instead of just doing what this guy's doing with different like features.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yep.
That is
Yep.
a completely fair opinion, King Matthew. And also, I prefer Friday the 13th. I like Jason.
Yeah, I
Friday the 13th
agree.
with Jason's my favorite franchise,
Oh,
and the
the
offline
Friday
mode
the
is so much
13th
better.
is sick.
Yeah, because like, well, you have to pay for like if you have Xbox, if you have PlayStation, if you have Nintendo, you have to pay to play online. Whereas with PC, you don't. But with Friday the 13th, you could play against bots in an offline match, and that
Mhm.
was nice.
So
I
you,
still go
so you
back and
tell
play solo on Friday 13th. You know?
so you're telling me Texas Chainsaw Massacre you have to play online, or you can
Yeah.
play
It
against
is.
bots.
Yeah, you play against
Yeah.
other people or play
You
with
can't play against bots. You can't play against bots. So the
And
game is essentially
maybe if
a
there's
brick.
training mode, but not.
It's
but maybe,
it's an online only game, yeah. That's
Yeah,
another
they
See,
haven't
really
gotten to
big
the point.
issue with a lot of games in general now.
Yeah.
Is that
and
they're
unfortunately,
online
not everyone's
only.
Epic Games
Such bullshit.
because Epic Games
And
lets
it
you
was
play their games
on their
online for
roadmap.
free on any console.
It was on their
listen,
roadmap to do a offline mode where you could play against bots and stuff, but now
okay.
they're not supporting it, so it's not going to get to it. They're not going to get to it now. So
See, that's such bullshit. And all you
Mm.
guys out there who's going out there and buying and supporting this digital bullshit, right? And you're killing these things, man. That's what it is, man. That's what it is. Like
It's
people go out there and buy the
that's
digital movies. You kill the fucking the movie industry
exactly.
because you're streaming
I don't
shit.
buy digital. I don't buy digital
Yeah, I'm
movies.
just
I would
saying.
say I would say
As far as digital
it's
games go, they
much
don't make
less.
physical copies really anymore of anything.
My whole thing is like they're making these multiplayer only games that
It's a
in all
scam.
reality they only have a certain amount like a certain lifetime on, especially until like a new game comes out and that's the new big fad. Like it's the multiplayer only games only have a place if they can keep relevant. Like Destiny 1 and 2, two of the best examples of online only games that you can play solo, yeah, but it is so much better with friends. And they've gone on, I think it's like almost 13 years now or something, or like 10 something, some odd years.
I don't understand that, but
like it,
GTA 5.
great games. And like they have a formula that where, yeah, it has the online mode, but they also realize that they have content for people who aren't going to be like playing this when the online mode doesn't have support or something. Like when GTA 5 online mode dies, people can still play the campaign. People can still play throughout the entire like story over and over again until their heart's content. Like, and it's just, it's beneficial to have that, and that's what a lot of games nowadays are lacking. And it sucks. Sucks so bad. Ugh. Yeah, but
Not to get too off topic here, but Kristen just joined us. Hey, Kristen. I think she just said mine was Candyman, so I think she's traveling behind us right now. So when you get caught up to this, happy birthday, because it's her birthday.
Happy birthday.
But that kind of pisses me off about the games, right? Because now they're trying to force you into a niche where you're paying for this stuff, and everybody's getting scammed. I think Marcus and I were talking about like people are just not seeing the big picture here. You don't own anything that you purchase that is streaming or digital. You don't own it because this is what happens, right?
Yep.
Because it's not just with video games when they get shut down and turn your purchase into a damn brick. It's with movies because Amazon, Voodoo, any of those companies at any time could say, hey, look, we don't want your membership anymore. We're shutting you down. Or if they ever go bankrupt, there goes your entire content. Your library is gone. And you spent all of that money on all of that stuff. It's
not just
absolutely
that.
crazy.
Well,
It's like
here's a
distribution. Not just. Oh, go ahead, Noah.
Sorry, I was gonna say with Nintendo Switch too. Like you still buy physical cartridges, but you don't own the physical game. You don't own the game. You own the right to play the game under its licensed property. So with Nintendo Switch 2 now, you don't. And that's a physical media now. So now even owning physical media, you don't own the game anymore. So they can take technically that game right away from you, even with the physical copy that you're now paying $90 for, not including potential tariff costs if you're in America. So it's ridiculous.
So what a lot of
Now, I
people
don't know if
don't
you
know,
were going to
like
say this, Marcus. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say what a lot of consumers don't know and a lot of fans know when it comes to distribution on streaming platforms like Amazon, Netflix, and stuff like that. There's a set amount of time that the studios, producers, and said platforms contract. Like, okay, you could have access to stream this film for say 7 to 12 years or something like that. If they don't re-up on that distribution deal after that time period is up, like you said, the platform could take it off a site. That's why, like, you'll see on Netflix where, oh, this movie will stop playing after a year, or you won't see it again, and then it'll come back maybe a year or two later or something like that.
Remember during
lockdown
with Frenzy, people lost their minds.
Yeah, but so here's the problem with that too. Like, they're making digital copies and they haven't lowered the price. You're not paying for physical media anymore. The companies that are producing it, they're not paying to distribute it to stores. They're essentially like, hey, the game's done. Now you can go and play it online and we'll host it on a server somewhere. So their costs are coming down, but the cost of the product isn't. So it's a giant scam to keep the price up. And
everything's a scam in this world. We know this.
This is the problem. So like back when Blu-rays were first coming out, like the movie industry or the movie studios got sued because of the price of DVDs being so high, and the government went after them for it, and they lost the case. Not the government, the studios lost the case because they had perfected how well they were creating the stuff, and the distribution and the margin right up for that was so high. The government says, like, you got to lower the prices. And then that's when we started seeing DVDs come out with the bonus disc and the slipcase cover on it. And that's why we see Blu-rays come with the Blu-ray and the DVD on it. It's because they're trying to keep the costs up. And that's what's killing physical media, is the greed of these studios. And I can go on a long rant about it, but I'm not going to do that because
it's all a scam. But you know, buy physical media if you want to own what you have.
As someone who has spent possibly over $500 on Fortnite today. Not today, but to date. As someone who has spent a large amount of money, especially on over multiple like online only games and like games that I don't actually own, it really just comes down to what you value. And at the end of the day, if it's something that you think you value at the time, go for it. I like my Fortnite skins. I like my funny little Marvel guys, everything and whatnot. But at the same time, I do understand that one day I am not going to give a shit about that, and I will have wasted over probably. I'm going to spend
like
a lot
if Fortnite no longer exists, you lose all that money too, that because you don't own it.
Look,
like there are companies that try to.
Dude, have you ever had the urge while driving your car to say, you know what? I wonder what happened if I drove into the other lane, right? That's the same kind of concept that you're saying there. Well, you know what? Just go for it. The idea's right there. Let me just drive into that other lane and kill myself. Yeah. No, sometimes you gotta take a step back and think about it. That impulse. You gotta get the impulse under control there, Lucas.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So King
I'm like 550, almost 600 deep at this point, though. I can't give up now.
And you know what? That's a little amount of money compared to what other people have into that.
Oh yeah, no.
You know,
there's a whole
I know proven addiction.
Noah
behind this
has got to have spent much more money than I have on that game. He has.
I have more. Well, I also have more games on my Steam Deck than you do in general. So
exactly.
But I also have more physical media discs than you do because there's just certain games that I couldn't get. I will say though that I typically buy on a bargain. Like these are like $2. So
no, this isn't related to the topic, but no, if you wanted to play Fallout 3 like originally, I can give you my Xbox disc. They still work in Xbox ones. Oh, you do?
I have the Game of the Year edition.
Oh shit! Okay, never mind. Okay.
All right.
I didn't. We were talking about it earlier. I just remembered.
Speaking of Fallout, the trailer came out.
squirrel.
Oh, okay. Never
Yeah.
mind.
For the second season?
Yeah, for the second season. as well,
Almost.
Yeah.
If a screen game is made
So
up
let's
of
go to
Texas
King
Chainsaw,
Matthew's comment here.
is it over? Needs to be different.
But that's the thing though. With all the flack that Scream is getting now because of the 7th movie, is it going to perform as well?
Of course.
I don't think a Scream. Here's
Yeah.
my thing. Due to the fact, and I know I keep bringing up Dead by Daylight, but it's just such a giant entity in the horror
Yeah,
gaming
Scream's already in Dead by Daylight.
market. Yeah, and like Scream, like the Ghostface is already in Dead by Daylight. If they were to do like a Scream game, they would really have to make it something special. I think that's the only way to make it something
It couldn't
worthwhile.
be. It couldn't be the same concept. It has to be story based.
It would
Yeah.
have to be something possibly story based. If they wanted to make it multiplayer, then that's something. But it has to
Multiple
be options.
You can
Has to be
randomize
optional.
who the ghost face is, and you have to figure it out. Like
Yeah,
that.
you know what? Actually, they should make
could
it
be
like one of those
Ghostface
dark
try and
pictures
hide.
games. They should make it like one of those dark pictures games because in those they have multiplayer capabilities where you can play as the different characters in the
Yeah.
story.
Mhm.
That would be personally the best way to go.
You could
about
also
it.
you could be Ghostface and like plot how you're going to take everybody out and
Oh,
try
that would be
and hide it.
that would be an interesting
Right,
way
like-
to do it too.
Mhm.
Plus, like
I'm getting a
so
board game
you-
idea.
you get like games. Okay, so like just a little what is it example? Devil May Cry 5. It's the most recent title in the Devil May Cry games. It has 3 different plot lines that you can play with the 3 different characters, and they all intersect throughout the story. So you play as all these different characters, and then you can go back and play as the villain's perspective throughout the whole game.
Mm.
So they give you like these games and these like ideas have already been implemented. If they wanted to do a Scream game, they could just go with that because that is just such a peak. Like that would be like game of the year, like ideas. I think so.
Yep.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to do
So,
a Dead by Daylight or Friday the 13th franchise where you're trying to escape. It doesn't work for Scream because it's a different type of storytelling from those different films.
Different type of slasher. Yep. Different type of slasher.
Well,
As well, so
I think Lukas nailed it on the head. I feel like Scream, maybe even Terrifier, maybe even because there's rumor they're working on an actual Halloween RPG game where it needs to be exactly like Until Dawn, where it's narrative based, where your choices matter, like who lives, who dies. You know what I mean? Where you can save everybody or kill everybody. It needs to be a narrative based game like that. You know,
Hell, they don't even really need to make like a Scream game per se. Like if they just did like a Scream like Telltale series, that would be.
Oh yeah, that
even
would be
cool as
fun.
well.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Like
But Telltale,
all right.
you know,
Isn't
Telltale
Telltale
fell apart.
Telltale,
Yeah,
yeah,
Telltale's
Telltale is a little.
They fell apart. They're
If
not
they,
even
if
a
they're gone.
company
well,
anymore.
oh really?
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
gone.
They're
Damn.
gone.
Yeah. They. All right. So we'll break the news to Lukas in a couple of minutes about Telltale. But yes, it should be like a Telltale game where you have a story based and you go and choose everything and release it in episodes. I'm fine with releasing it in episodes as long as you
That
have
would
a
be
good
cool.
company that's releasing it. But
And
to
at a
go
fair
back,
price.
yes, at a fair price. And to go back to Noah's point, like no matter what the movie does, if it's horrible or not, right now Scream is so popular that you put Scream on something and people are going to buy it. Like having a talk with our mutual friend who runs a distribution company for figures and designs his own action figures and stuff like that. When he goes to conventions, he says the main question he gets, what do you got for Scream? What do you got for Scream? What do you got for Scream? So Scream is still out there kicking ass merchandise wise and everything. It's probably the
iconic.
second most
You over here waddling over, going to get my Godzilla figures.
yeah. So but yeah, so you put Scream's name on anything and it's going to sell. But to go to Lukas's point before we jump off of this into our next topic, essentially what was I going to say? So Telltale Games, for those that don't know, created the awesome Walking Dead series
so
that was
sorry.
out on there.
Yep.
Now, it's all right. Now, like it was one of those video games where I saw grown men posting online that they cried at the end
I
of the
wept.
first game. That's
Dude.
how good it was.
I found out
I
something
think
new about
everybody
the
did.
ending of season
Everybody
1.
did.
It's so good.
Do you want to hear the sad
So
thing I found
good.
out about the end of season 1?
What's up?
So when Lee, the ending towards Lee, when you hear him like breathing out for the last time, it's actually a voice recording of the actor crying because of the story ending in the Walking Dead game.
Wow.
That's
wow.
crazy.
Yeah.
It's that video game is probably better than 40% of the Walking
show.
Dead shows that we've gotten.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
so good that they should have crossed it
Season
over
3 and 4
into
were
the
a bit,
series itself.
Yeah,
Mhm.
well, that was the
Now-
cool thing, is that they had Glenn in the first 2 episodes or so.
And Herschel, they had Herschel in it
And
too.
Herschel.
Did
Yeah.
they have
We also had
Herschel
Herschel as
in
well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The
Herschel's
farm.
in it. They
They
go
had
to
They
the
had
Herschel's
farm.
farm.
you get there
Yep.
as Sean
Oh
dies.
shit! You're so
Yep.
right.
Before
'cause
the
his
before the
son
barn is
died.
full.
Oh my
Yep,
god!
before
I
the
forgot
barn is
about
filled.
that.
That's crazy.
Mhm.
Oh my
You're just
gosh.
slightly ahead of Rick and his group in the
Dude,
in
that
the
game
entirety
is
of the
so
franchise.
good. The game is so good.
Mhm. It is. It is
Actually,
so good.
I
Like
gotta-
Actually,
I
the
gotta
whole
say that.
series, because even Clementine gets older. The
When
whole
we-
series. Is,
mhm.
If we
I
get
didn't like
to
3
do
and
some
season 3
kind
and
of
season
gaming
4.
stuff, I wanna go through that again. That's such a lovely thing to do. Oh,
Yeah, now Telltale's fell apart because they expanded. They did Guardians of the Galaxy, they
Yeah.
did
Yeah.
Batman, they did a few
Batman.
I
different things.
liked the
And
Guardians of the Galaxy game.
Hey, stay away from the first
Nobody
Batman
else
game
did.
was good.
The first Batman season was fantastic. Oh, that
Yeah.
was
So,
Oh,
so Lucas, just to catch you up, they fell apart before they finished the last season, and Skybound had to get involved, and Skybound finished the last season.
really.
Mhm.
Yeah, that
That
makes sense. It did
sucks.
not.
Because they
I
made Tales
hated
of the
it.
Borderlands
I
too.
especially hated
That was
season
really
4.
good as well.
Yeah, Lucas, Jesus was in season 3.
Yeah, he was. That's right.
Oh,
Jesus was in it too. Yeah.
To be fair, I did not play the final Clementine game. Or like
Yeah, me
whichever
either.
one.
I gotta look that up.
didn't play
I
after
was just
season
upset that
2 just
season
because
3,
I
like
watched it on YouTube.
she was a side character. I didn't appreciate that Clementine was a side character in season 3, and I don't think that most people did.
I think
Yeah.
just Clementine's story in general was just so good. They really played that whole like series so well.
So
up until
sad,
the
man.
last
So
few
sad.
games.
Mhm.
But yeah, damn, yeah,
Alrighty.
that would be
I
pretty
wasn't
cool.
a huge fan of the Michonne game. I'm gonna be real. I was not a huge fan of the Michonne game.
I didn't play it.
But you gotta look at it too. So like Telltale inspired Until Dawn and inspired The
Mhm.
Quarry. So it's still living on through other means right now. So
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh
Very
my god,
good,
we
very good.
met the lead actress. We met the actress the voice actress of Clementine. She's so
Oh,
cool.
word.
Mhm.
Oh, that's
Yep.
awesome.
Old white
She
lady.
wanted to create a game. She wanted to create a game about her and Glenn, the Tale of the Two Ds, because he also had a hat with a D on it as well, or it was a Tale of the Two Hats or something like that. The Walking D Tale of the Two Hats, because her hat had a D on it.
Mhm.
That would be so sweet.
It would
Yeah.
have been really funny.
Damn.
All right. So let's move on. So I don't know how many of our viewers have seen this because not many horror fans have seen it. Diehard horror fans have seen it, but not many casual horror fans have seen it. So 40th anniversary of Reanimator dropped, and Lucas got to see it for the first time in the theater. So
Oh,
Noah and I
nice.
went with Lucas to see that movie, and yeah. So I'm gonna tell you, Reanimator couldn't be made today. Not with that one
Oh
scene in it, but
no. Yeah.
yeah. No.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a rather weird
But,
scene to have to incorporate into the. Yeah, I think everyone who's seen it knows what we're talking about. Like that ending, yeah, it's a bit odd.
As a
Mhm.
first time viewer, there's a few scenes in that movie that would be a little sketchy today.
Mhm. Oh yeah.
It
it would
is
get
definitely-
canceled quick.
It is such a fun watch. It is such a fun watch. The guy that
Jeffrey
that
Combs
plays
stole the show.
what's his name? Was it Jeffrey
Lockwood?
Combs? The guy with the guy who plays Lockwood.
Yep,
Yeah,
Jeffrey Combs.
Jeffrey Combs.
Fantastic. He has such an energy about him. It's so fucking nice. And he really he chews up that script. It's fucking like you can really tell he's having so much fun with it. But like even
Yeah.
all the actors really most of them seem like they're having a really good time with this movie.
It was a good overall. Like every actor did a really good job in that movie. It was a really good, well-rounded film. As a I would say it's a comedy horror, especially with especially with the ending when Reanimator comes in is like my. I didn't think I'd catch you this way. It's like, all right, this is a little campy, but it's fun. It's a fun movie.
What I will say is
Yeah, if you
the music in this movie is
yeah.
fantastic.
Theme
I
song for
think,
Reanimator.
It reminds me so much of like the Phantom of the Opera score, or like from the movie that they did the
Also amazing.
musical with. It reminds me of that really heavy, and that's why I think I like it so much. Just because it's like it's very like what is it? It's very punchy. It's got some like real like boom moments, I guess I would call them. But like it really good movie. I enjoyed a lot of it.
I just love that
So
it had
if
one
you're
of
a
my
fan of-
all-time favorite crushes, you know, Barbara Crampton. So
She is
And
so
she looks
pretty.
amazing today.
yeah,
She is
yep.
so
I love
pretty.
me some
Oh my
Barbara
God.
Crampton, man. Love me some
Also,
Barbara
can
Crampton.
we say
Yeah.
she was more logical in that movie than what's his
Yes.
name, Cade or whatever? Like, dude, like throughout the entire movie, like, I don't trust him, and neither does the cat. As soon as someone says that an animal does not trust a person, you get that person the fuck out of there. Like, that is crazy. Money back, get your shit, and get the fuck out. My animals, if my cats don't trust you and don't like you, and Lestat's a whore. He likes the attention. He doesn't like you. I don't like you either. So I'm sorry. She made the most sense, and he got her killed.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
you know, that's one thing to say. She was the smartest character in the movie. She's probably nobody really talks about her being a final girl, but she technically is a final girl in that movie. So she is way ahead of her time. The whole movie
We
was
didn't
way ahead of her
incorporate
time.
her, include her in the ranking either.
I know, because we didn't think about it. See, that's the thing.
Mhm.
It's just overlooked. It's overlooked. There's 3 films in the franchise. There's something for everybody. Like the first 2 are borderline Return of the Living Dead. So if you liked Return of the Living Dead, you're gonna like the reanimated films. It's campy. It's over the top.
Undead were really like that.
Yeah, it's very good. Now the third
it's
film.
like sci-fi zombie. I like it.
Yeah. Now the third film came out in the early 2000s. It's called Beyond the Reanimator, and that is more modernized. It's more horror. It has the comedy elements in it. Jeffrey Combs does a very good job with the character again, but it's more horror than these previous 2 films were.
Yeah.
So, no, there's definitely something there for everybody. Now, let's see here. We got we had somebody
It
join
took itself a little bit more serious than the previous
It did.
2
It did.
entries. Yeah.
Scott Walker joined us. Hey, Scott. Hope you're doing well.
Hello.
Now let's see here. Now, so that I don't know how many people know about this. If you are a fan of Reanimator, I was telling Lukas and Noah about this. But so Reanimator 4 was supposed to come out shortly after Beyond the Reanimator, and that was during George Bush's second term as president, and was going to be House of the Reanimator. And the premise for that. Yeah, the premise for that film was there's going to be a George W. type of character in the White House who dies, and they don't want the entire world to figure it out. They want him to stay in power, so they bring in Dr. Herbert West to reanimate him. So that would have been a
That would have been
fantastic
hilarious.
movie.
Yeah, that would have
It
been
would have been,
hilarious.
but it started
coulda
getting a
got
lot
Will
of flack
Ferrell.
because of that. Yep.
And I think the
They coulda
longer
got
you
Will
do it, the
Ferrell to
more it
play
makes sense. And I honestly think that if you made it today, it would be so good. It would be
What I
such a
will-
good movie.
What I will say is this movie does play a lot. It does play a lot into the comedy aspects. At least it feels like it does. It almost to the point where it feels like almost like a parody film, and that's kind of like what I like about it is that it has like that parody energy while still being like a unique idea.
Yeah, yeah. Now, like Lukas, I don't know if you've seen it. No, I know you haven't seen it yet. But Night of the Creeps kind of falls into this genre type of film too. It's a horror type of comedy, very good. So yeah,
Schmantastic.
but definitely, yep, definitely something worth.
I have to watch
checking
the other
out.
ones.
Now,
We're gonna have to sit down and watch the other ones. Possibly do a ranking. That might be fun.
yeah, yeah. I own the other ones, so you can come over anytime.
You know,
we'll watch it.
you know what else you have? It's right behind you, right there next to Mr. Clownboy's face. The little
it's
box you
the
got from you got from Mark.
Yep.
Oh, weird.
From
It's
yeah.
so cool.
Nightmares Unlimited is the Reanimator box. It comes with the serum, it comes with the needle, and it lights up. I just need batteries to light up that case. Oh, look at this. So we got Shannon said, I snuck into the theater as a kid, and the first one traumatized me. Yeah, because that'll do that for you. It'll do that for you.
I see.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
that's
I don't know if I talked this about. I think I talked to my dad about it because, like, so my girlfriend really doesn't watch horror movies. she's like, she gets really terrified of them. But I'm so glad. I think you need to traumatize your children young only in the way of showing them horror movies, right? Because when they're younger, they watch it, and then when they're older, they're enjoying them, and they're getting to watch them again as adults and enjoying them. Because like right now, yeah, horror movies traumatize the fuck out of me. But also, I made the decision to watch Freddy versus Jason on TV at 3 a.m. when everyone was asleep. So it's not like I wasn't gonna do it anyways as a kid. I was like 4 or 5, something like that. Kids need to be traumatized by horror movies so they can enjoy real cinema when they get older.
Either horror movies or like expose them to old Adult Swim shows like Robot Chicken and stuff like that. Because then they'll just grow
that's the
up
thing.
and
I
they'll
would
be
also
fine.
watch that.
Everybody
stuff in the
becomes
middle of the night, too. It's like,
regularly adjusted after they've watched Robot Chicken, I think.
Oh,
Why
well,
is
I
stuff
have
getting sick?
I have a show idea to pitch to you guys after this episode's done, because it's funny how you're talking about that stuff, but we'll talk about that later. Now, speaking of Reanimator, it has come back to life, so it is getting a remake, and it's going to be Herbert West, the Reanimator. So this is going to be more based off of the actual book itself.
Mhm.
So it's going to be a darker concept, so it's going to be modernized. It's not going to have comedy in it. I don't know.
Is he returning though? Is he returning?
Is it Jeffrey Combs again?
Jeffrey returning?
It could be cool. It could be
I'll
cool.
be the same without
No.
It has potential, but
I feel like he's on the same level as Robert England as Freddy, right?
Like
the only person I could see that could do it is what's my man's name? Michael C. Hall, who plays Dexter.
Oh, yeah.
Then the only thing is, if he did it, it would be too much like Dexter.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
It's just the exact opposite. Bringing things back to life.
Guy, have you guys seen the show You on Netflix?
No.
I fucking hate that show. Oh my
god, it's a Lifetime show.
The guy who plays the main character in that show, I think he would be a good fit.
Yeah,
he looks just like a
You is a Netflix show.
No, my friend. It started out on Lifetime.
No way.
Lifetime canceled it, and Netflix picked it up.
Netflix
picked it up. Lifetime show.
Yeah. Y'all didn't know that?
So it's like Lucifer, where it was a Fox show.
I watched the first season. I was forced to watch first season. It sucks. It sucks. They had
That's why, because it was a Lifetime show.
Yeah, the first season was rough.
But even Lifetime ditched it.
But so the guy who does play the main character in You, he's a good actor. I've seen him in a few other projects that he's done. He was in the Vampire Diaries. He's also kind of good in that. I'm not gonna lie. This is a guilty pleasure
about
show.
Like another romance show kind of deal, though.
It is. It's good though. It's good though. And honestly, I think that he I don't know. He just looks a lot like a young what's his name? The guy who plays Lockwood. I'm sorry. I'm bad with names. Yes. He looks a lot like him from when he was in the first Reanimator.
Man, what if they did something crazy like Bill Skarsgård or what's my man what's my man from The Boys? Jack Quaid.
Oh, Jack Quaid.
I got one for you. Jack Quaid? Maybe. How about Freddie Highmore?
Ooh.
I'm not sure I know who
Freddie
is.
I'm blanking on
Freddie Highmore.
Freddie Highmore is Norman Bates from Bates Motel.
Oh, the TV show.
Well, we know he can definitely pull it off. It's like, but would it be similar to him being Norman Bates though?
No, he's a chameleon. He's a chameleon of an actor. I like him. Yeah,
I have an interesting one to throw out there.
Yeah.
What about Stephen Yeun?
He is a very underrated actor, especially in horror. So
he's a lot more versatile than people think he is. I think he's he's a pretty good actor. What was the one where he was in the hotel, where like they were in the office building?
Mayhem.
Yeah, that movie was so good. That movie was so fun.
Yep.
That would be an interesting.
All right,
cast.
so we got it. It would be. Maybe we'll do that in a future episode. We'll recast it. Scott Walker, what is wrong? No, that's not the comment I wanted to show. So Scott I was 6 years old when I saw Scream in '98 by.
God, you making me feel old, man.
I wasn't born yet.
I graduated from high school.
Wow. Yeah. So you absolutely loved it. Yeah. I was about to have a kid. Anyway, so yes, that's Scott Walker's first. We're gonna go down that path. So we know that Shannon snuck in to see Reanimator. We see Scott's first film. You guys throw your first horror film in there and what it did to you. Marcus, what was your first? It was Nightmare on Elm Street, right? Or did you see
Nightmare
something
on Elm
before
Street.
Nightmare on Elm Street?
No,
Yep.
Nightmare on Elm Street. I was 4 years old. My mom took me to go
Mhm.
see it opening night, man. Yep.
Yep. Did you have
I
nightmares?
didn't have those.
I did because she said her main reason, like she forgets it today, or she doesn't like to take accountability because my mom is a minister and everything. So she loves that I'm making movies. She just hates that I, do horror. And I'm like, well, it's your fault because you took me to go see my first horror movie when I was a kid. And it's funny because I told Robert Englund that story when we met him at Monster Mania and stuff. And he was like, well, tell your mom I said that's fucked up parenting, but tell her thank you because you wouldn't be doing what you're doing today if it wasn't for that, which is true. So, yeah.
So, do you remember your first horror movie?
No, I don't actually. I would probably say that if I was sneaking and watching a horror movie, that it was probably Freddy vs. Jason or the original Nightmare on Elm Street, because I do remember watching those on TV. But like officially watching horror movies,
I remember it because you watched it with me. It was
if you're
Wrong
talking about
Turn.
the Underworld, oh yeah, but I wasn't old
No, it
enough
was
to
Wrong
remember.
Turn.
I wasn't old enough to remember that though. It's like, oh hey, you remember me
Yeah,
and
we got-
Twigga at Claws and Paws when I was 2? No, I don't remember that. Technically, you can say Godzilla was my first horror movie because it's considered a thriller, horror, sci-fi.
All right. Lucas, how about you? You remember your first horror movie?
I remember my first glimpse of a horror movie was Child's Play, the very, very first one. And that fucked me up for a while. That was not pleasurable, I will say, as a young child. It was not something that made me like horror movies. But the first horror movie that I actually sat down and watched, I think it was I think it was.
I watched a lot of Asian
It's
horror
kind of
films when I was
underwhelming.
younger,
I
too,
want
so
to
it could've been
say. I
Asian
want to
horror
say it was Sinister. It's kind of underwhelming, but yeah, I think the first one was like that. I actually sat down and watched was Sinister, and it's okay. It's just like I know I've seen better horror movies since.
Oh, that doesn't matter if it was better or not. That's the first one you saw. So like,
One of the
Child's
first
Play
horror movies
2
I
is the
remember watching
first
is
slasher
Phone.
film that I saw.
Oh, weird.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. Now me, 4 years old, maybe 5 years old. It was either American Werewolf in London or The Thing. I just remember those two movies from being a little kid. I don't remember watching them fully, but I remember certain scenes that stuck out at that time. So it was one of those two movies. But when I got to Nightmare on Elm Street several years later, man, that gave me nightmares. Now, King Matthew's first glimpse of horror was Nightmare on Elm Street 4. Let's see here. Kristen's never snuck in to watch a horror movie. Mom didn't seem to mind. All right, that's cool. That's cool. Every time CG puts
I had a
GD in
bargain
there,
to watch horror movies.
I think it's good.
Yeah.
I think it's
it
yeah.
is good. I'm thinking something else. GD. It's good to watch R-rated movies. So if you ever see me get thrown off by seeing GD in there, I want to say something else. Classic
Goddamn.
comedians show you when young, like drinking water from Johnny. The Johnny Pump makes us stronger. Yeah, the Johnny Pump box. So he's throwing out some old lingo there. We got a question before we start talking about Friday the 13th. So Scott's like, hey, what do you guys think of the idea of a killer Ronald McDonald? I think it will be interesting idea. You
Go
think
watch
it will be
Raka Raka's YouTube channel.
Dude, the dude is already a serial killer. How many people has he killed with his hamburgers?
Yeah. So you know the people that may
Yeah,
talk
right.
to me, the people that may talk to me have a YouTube channel. The people who may talk to me have a YouTube channel. It's pretty much all practical effects. There's like some stuff. It's very early, like 2010s YouTube. So
Yeah.
keep that in mind when you're looking at the humor. But their Ronald McDonald is a menace to society. And at one point they did.
Are you talking about the one that punches the
Raka
kid?
Raka. Yes, Raka Raka. Yeah, he at one point
Mhm.
broke into a McDonald's or a Wendy's and put someone's face in a greaser. Like, yeah, go watch it. He did 2 hardcore wrestling matches dressed as Ronald McDonald. Those are good, actually good wrestling matches. He exists. He exists.
Uh-huh.
What the fuck? It's just on. It's just on
Lucas, you
shitty
gotta watch that.
YouTube. It's so funny. They're so stupid, but they're so funny.
That video Because he just loses it on this poor fucking, like, this is one of the later videos. Like,
It's
this is
about
definitely
Flappy
after
Bird. It's
they've
about
already
Flappy Bird.
got it. Yeah, he just starts losing it on this kid, and he just beats the shit out of him. He's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. So
Oh my
there's
God.
your Killer Ronald McDonald. If they made like a parody horror movie like the Winnie the Pooh stuff, I would watch that. I think that they got to do the fast food verse now. There you go.
Oh boy.
I would not play it with sound.
I'm not gonna play with sound.
That
That's all I'm
video
gonna show.
is so god tierly funny. If you guys haven't seen it, watch it. It's so good.
Yeah, give me Ronald McDonald and Grimace. Make it
It
into
gives
a
me
horror
the
movie.
chuckles,
Oh my God, Grimace just eats the kids, turns them into nuggets.
He's
Turns into
scary
the-
too, Grimace. Grimace is scary.
Mhm.
Grimace
Yes,
is
sir.
haunting to look at.
You guys remember when
Maybe the
McGill
hamburger's
told
stealing the
us his
burgers to save
goo?
people. The Hamburglar
Grimace.
is taking the burgers away because it's kid meat. He's like,
All right.
no.
Let me go up there. Scott's got a request for us to take a look at a question. I see he just commented.
Oh, I didn't even
What
see
is-
it.
Yeah, what is wrong with the Final Destination movie concentrating on animal attacks instead of natural disasters and car accidents and other stuff? What's wrong with the animal attacks movie?
What's up?
I mean,
I'm
no,
not sure
I think
what that means.
I think he's asking like, why don't they include that? Maybe because of the fact that, like, I mean, the only way they can include animal attacks is like, how would you correlate it with death being the cause of the animals attacking? That's why.
It'd be a CGI dog or something like that
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Another
I
thing
think it's
too is
also
like
just more interesting for spectacle wise, because these movies
Yeah.
are big on their spectacle.
See, in order to do the animal thing, that's just animals attacking. That's their human nature.
Yeah.
But the whole thing
Mhm.
about the mysticism of Final Destination is actual death that's causing all of this.
Mhm.
So I don't think it will work with animals.
the only way they
Yeah.
could pull it off with animals is if they make the person appetizing to the animal.
yeah.
That's,
And you also have to think
or
like
it
Jaws and
falls
stuff like
into
that,
a
highlighting
yeah,
animals
or he
being
falls
dangerous.
into like a he falls into some animal pit or something like that where a
Mhm.
bunch of lions are at or something like that, and he gets shredded up. So that's a difficult
Something-
concept to pull off.
falls into like a rat pit and they'll just eat him.
That'd be
It'd be
interesting. So you
disgusting.
get up
It would be
running around
disgusting.
with all these rats on him.
Oh, and rats they crawl in, bro. They don't stop. They don't stop at the skin.
Oh, look, CG's like, well, why would it have to be a logical reason for a death scene? Yeah, this is true.
You could also do
Because
like
death is the
like,
villain.
maybe killer warthogs because like pigs and everything, like they eat the bones and all, so like you can make it like that way, like they're eating someone alive, so it's brutal that
There
way.
is a horror movie about that already.
Razorback.
Razorback, man. It was a
Yep.
true story.
I gotta
Then
watch that.
But
gotta
that's
watch that
why, because
movie.
there's
It
already
was
movie
brutal.
space around it. Then CG,
Yeah.
I don't know.
We watched that in school.
Yeah.
We watched Razorback
Razorback.
in school, and I think
It
it's
was,
rated R.
Yeah, it is. It was it happened in
I watched the
Australia.
Princess Terabithia in school.
Yeah. It was about a
Why would
wild
you say
boar
that?
in Australia.
Why would you
That movie.
remind me of that movie right now?
I
They did
probably
a
just hurt
remake
a lot of people's
All right.
souls. They did.
All right, let's
Mhm.
get over to one of. I almost had two topics here just to annoy Lukas because there's some Halloween news that came out, but I forgot what it is already. So we're gonna go talk over and piss off. We're gonna piss off Noah right now because we're gonna talk about
Yeah.
the new Jason, designed by Greg Nicotero.
I love Greg Nicotero, man, but this to me is like
That
a
looks shit.
Temu brand of the 2009 remake version of Jason,
I don't.
you know, which I love. So
I don't really see an issue with it. What's your guys' issue with it? Because it just looks like
show the
Jason,
full.
like
No, show the
generic.
full image. Scroll down and show the full image of him. Yeah, there you go. I don't know. He just looked too scrawny and too. I mean, I guess it's more believable if he's the human Jason and not the zombie.
Well,
Jason,
I think it's also
it's
kind of like the
believable.
perspective because they have his whole body in shot, which usually just makes people look smaller.
Yeah. Well, the intent is for
I think the
merchandise.
mask
to
looks
be-
fucking awful.
Yeah, the mask does look horrible.
Why
but
does I think the mask looks okay. I'm
Come
also just like
on.
I'm not that big. I don't know.
He's
I
got a
haven't done a whole
Top
bunch of
chevron's a
Jason.
fucking unibrow. It's not even a chevron. It's a unibrow.
Okay. Show me the OG pics that I can get an idea for reference here. I know what
Look-
Jason looks like normally, but I just like
Yeah, look up the 2009
Okay,
version. 'cause
but
that's the
like-
closest one.
It's not the same at all. Like
Okay.
these masks, that mask is so shit.
Yeah. I mean, the mask does look worse. I think.
Look at that. Look at that. That's terrifying. That one's terrifying.
Yeah, the
I
Jason
think.
Takes Manhattan was a bad movie, but Kane Hodder in Jason Takes Manhattan was terrifying.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, like this is not even that good either. And I think this is
Nah.
because it's like CGI'd on there, but
Yeah, it
so,
was better because they did practical effects for his entire suit. It just looked better in the dark.
mhm.
And also, that's
look,
a very
even this-
whitewashed version of that image. His mask was a dark brown.
I think that's Jason from the Mortal Kombat game.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, it
Jason
is.
from the Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
game. That's
Yeah.
2009.
So if we look at that, you know what it is.
I
You know why
think-
they're doing this is
He looks like
Go ahead.
bubbles. Like his eye, like
No, I was
his,
just
the,
like, I
the,
think
the
it's the
eye holes are
line-
so close together.
It's the eye holes. They're also just like really big. The eye holes are a little big. The lines are like stretched out and placed weirdly on the mask, and then it's also like it looks like the mask now has less holes. So unless it's just like they make a
Oh
reason
no!
for him to get this,
Oh
then-
no! I'm sorry. I
Yeah,
don't mean to cut you out, but
I
King
thought you were
Matthew-
gonna address it.
Yeah,
We're gonna address that. We're coming to that.
Oh no!
Okay.
All right,
I
we'll
love
come to
King
that.
Matthew.
All right,
but
go ahead,
he's
Lucas.
Weird, bro. It's like, what the fuck did I
Ow.
say?
God.
All right.
Yeah, no, I
All
think I don't, it just looks
I
strange.
am offended. I am offended.
But what they want to do with the Jason's new look is they want to expand him beyond the films and the video games and stuff like that. They're essentially turning him into Snoopy, right?
Yep.
Like because like when Charles Schultz died, Charles Schultz never wanted to have Snoopy all over the place, and then once he died, his kids like, hey, let's have it on toys, let's have it on little kids cups, let's do all of this stuff with Snoopy. So that is a toned down Jason, I think, just for that reason. Is like, hey, we want to make it super marketable. We want to make him a bubblegum type of a slasher type killer. So it's like, all right. So now we're gonna
Yeah.
talk. King
Uh-oh.
Matthew, come on now.
Wait, I'm confused because like first he said it's the worst design, and then he said with the paper bag over his head, it was a sack with his head is way better. So is he saying the burlap sack is better or not? Because
No. I think he's comparing it to 2009. So there's a difference between the two looks. So we got this.
okay, I got you.
Yep.
I like both.
So we got-
I love both personally. So.
This is my favorite. This is my favorite version.
One of the best, I
version
think,
of
is one of the
Jason is
best looks
Yeah.
because it's just fucking terrifying. He's got the one eye hole, but somehow he's keeping
Yep.
up with you.
The
He's
one
fucking you
eye
up.
hole. Yep, exactly. The
And I
one
will
eye hole.
will
And then if-
drink. I'm taking a shot from that comment in my Jason Takes Manhattan shot glass that I got as a gift. Oh no, this is Bloodlines. I'm sorry. It looks like the
Actually,
my apologies.
So I own the 2009 version of Burlap Mask.
let's see, burlap mask.
I have the other one from Friday too.
This is so this is the 2000. Oh, can I get a good shot here? Come on. So this is the other version.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
You like that?
It's got some
Yeah.
style.
I own that
Mhm.
mask. Yeah.
That one's
Yeah.
that one's not bad either. But like,
Yep.
the burlap sack
I like
idea
the whole
was so
design
cool.
of that costume. I'm not gonna hold on. Can you play? Is there like a more like a better picture of the costume?
Well, there's the toy version. Let's see if we
Just
can find
just type Derek Mears.
Oh, wait a
Jason.
minute. Here we go. Look at that.
I like the. I don't know. He's got some swag going on there.
It's it's because it's a damn good movie too. It's
Mhm.
menacing. It's really menacing. But
It looks pretty
yeah, but I'm
fucking
telling you,
swaggy
man,
over there.
this
There you
is
go.
good.
Click
This is
click that picture right there next to the decapitated head. That one, yeah.
The one,
I
the one
thought
that
it
was
would
like
be
a
good.
green filter.
Yeah, but it's a good movie. The remake is a very good movie. It's both are good masks. But
Yeah, it's
yeah,
not bad.
King Matthew, come on, man. Stephen Dash, rest in peace, my favorite Jason.
He did reiterate saying that he just thinks that the mask is generic and he prefers the hockey mask. I do also prefer the hockey mask, but I love the burlap mask. I think it's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
hmm
I
Have it.
think I think I really only like that one that is on the screen right now. I really like
Mhm.
that. I don't know what it is. That's like such a cool like. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's just,
yeah.
right.
It's well, that one's aged. It's a little bit more brutal. But that's one of nobody really talks about, but that's one of the best remakes. That's one of the best better films in the entire franchise too.
I wish Marcus Nispel will make more horror movies because to me he did a phenomenal job with Friday the 13th and Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yep. Scott Walker. Oh, it just jumped on my screen. Scott Walker. There's been talks of a Scream Halloween movie crossover. It might be happening one day. Do you think Ghostface and Michael Myers will team up, or will they be enemies?
Nah, I don't
Michael
think
Myers
it'll ever
doesn't
happen.
team up. I don't even think he would team up with Sam from Trick or Treat. I firmly believe that he would not team up with Sam from Trick or Treat. So I think that he'd be a Lone Ranger through and through. Huh?
Do people want this? Like, do people actually want this?
I don't know. I don't know.
It just wouldn't fit.
It
I
doesn't.
would
Yeah.
We've talked about that. I wouldn't do one with Ghostface. Like that doesn't really make
Talk
sense. 'cause
about
he
a
exists as a movie.
crash grab.
Yeah, that's what it is. But I don't think it will work because.
Well, yeah, because Ghostface doesn't really have one single person underneath the mask to make it like iconic.
But
like
Michael Myers has no personality, right? So like pairing him up with Sam, where maybe Sam's guiding him along from the Trick or Treat series, kind of makes more sense, and the story would make more sense. Where having just plugging Ghostface into that.
Although I still don't think that Sam would team up with Michael Myers. If he's killing people on Halloween, especially people that are like wearing Halloween costumes, don't you think that he's killing the spirit of Halloween and Sam would fight him? Because that Sam is a demon that honors the traditions of Halloween, and if Michael Myers is going out of his way and hurting people that are participating in those traditions, he would probably fight him.
Oh wait, speaking of, I didn't let you guys know, but I found him. I found my little Lego Sam.
I didn't know he was missing.
I didn't know you had one.
Yeah, he was gone for a bit.
All right, let's plug Kristen in here. She started painting. If you want to check out on my profile, she does some horror stuff. So check out that stuff. So click on her and head over there. Let's see what else we got here. I would actually prefer a Scream crossover with I Know What You Did Last Summer. Imagine a fisherman and Ghostface working together and Kevin Williamson working on both movies. That makes more sense.
Well, see, here's the thing. So here's the thing with that. That would not work if this new film is including part 2. Because if it's ignoring part 2 and a direct sequel to the original, yes. Because if it's including part 2, you can't do it because Ben Willis is dead. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Well, not necessarily. So if the new film is going where now you have copycats playing Ben Willis, if it's not truly Julia who's going to be the unaliver in this movie, you now are starting the Ben Willis cult in the I Know What You Did Last Summer. So that's where your crossover can be.
Well, we don't officially have the Ghostface cult in Scream, so.
How about Scream with Hard Eyes?
Ooh,
I just want another Hard Eyes movie, honestly.
I don't know because they kind of just do the same thing. It's kind of the same thing. It's more so like Hard Eyes has like a weird obsession with couples. It's like specifically, but they both fulfill the same purpose. It's not. It's like, what would we be seeing? Would it be like a versus, or would it be like a working together?
I would say he will work best with the minor. Jensen Ackles minor in My Bloody Valentine.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah. Who Hard Eyes or Ghostface?
Hard Eyes in the minor.
Yeah. All right, we got this here. I'll tell you now, if there would ever be a horror crossover, it would be Art the Clown. I'm telling you. So that's Art the Clown with Halloween. That makes more sense too.
Well, we're getting Art in Scary Movie.
We're getting Art in Scary Movie.
Yeah.
Is David Howard Thornton being Art?
I don't know that, but they already announced that they're gonna like.
They should get the actor from All Hallows Eve to play as him.
Oh, Michael Gianelli. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. If there was like a crossover, there's a lot of these horror movies are really, really super
Freddy versus Jason versus Ash.
That would be cool. See, like it would have to be one of those things where like we have a horror movie that has like a hero lead fighting like one of these like I guess like killers or something like that. But like we don't have a whole bunch of those anymore. Is like we have, I guess, like some of the Scream cast, we have maybe the Halloween people. I don't care personally. Like,
Yeah,
there's just
it
like there's not a whole bunch of people that's like out there trying to like just like in perpetual battle like Ash.
You know what? I would cross Scream into Stream. So you have
That would be
you
cool.
have yes,
Ooh,
you
have like a
Ghost.
Ghostface player.
Yeah, you have a Ghostface player running
That'd be
through the
fucking
halls,
fantastic.
tuning up. So that one would work. That one definitely
Yeah,
would
that
work.
would
That would give us
Good.
another really cool, unique Ghostface mask too.
Oh yeah, that would.
Mhm.
Yep.
And you
So
know
that'd be
what?
nice to see.
We could always do with another unique Ghostface mask, man. Those do big time money. Those do big.
I want
time
them,
Hey.
man. I so want them to bring Lillard's chrome face mask back. I
Oh.
love that chrome face ghost face mask that he had in
So-
Scream 5.
I have to run with it. My squirrel's running now because Lukas mentioned it. So for our stream board game that we're working on, we're introducing 2 new players, player 5 and player 6. Lukas has designed them based off of the concept that I gave him. We may have to talk about a stream Ghostface mask.
I would say you
definitely.
get a black mask with lights on the inside to kind of represent the stream mask. I think that would be really cool.
I'm
Oh
like
my
already
God,
trying to
the light
visualize it,
white.
dude. That's kind of that'd be a cool idea. That'd be a cool idea.
All right, so we got another question in there before we get to our last topic. Our last topic is not going to be horror related. It is going to be Sadie Sink and Spider-Man, who we're going to talk about, and her being Tobey Maguire's daughter. But here, do you think Nev Campbell and the other Scream characters will be interested in a Halloween Scream crossover? And what about Jamie Lee Curtis?
No.
No,
Jamie, no.
Jamie Lee Curtis, please. No, I don't think she'd be interested, but I don't want to hear.
It's not even that I think she wouldn't be interested. Well, actually, no. It's not even that I wouldn't be interested in it because, granted, I wouldn't. But I also just don't think they would, because a lot of these people
Danielle
like
Harris,
are
maybe.
already. Yeah, but I don't see Nev Campbell doing it. I really don't, because she's already basically on her last legs with this series, anyways.
Mhm.
So it's like.
And now she's jumping into the Marvel universe as the voice of Polaris and X-Men 97.
Which
Season
is
2.
sick as fuck.
Mhm.
Sick as fuck. But yeah,
right,
Jamie
let's
Lee
see
Curtis,
here.
I wouldn't even want her to. I don't want to see any
Nope.
more Halloween
No.
content.
I don't want to see Laurie Strode ever again. I don't want.
I want them to do Halloween, but have Michael Myers just be more interesting. Is it
Well,
possible?
there are several plot points and storylines in the Halloween franchise that you could make an actual good story out of, especially with the Halloween cult. The masks from 3 should be incorporated into the franchise. Like it, there's a lot that they could do, but they shit on one of the best franchises, because 1 through 3, that's really where you got it, and then like everything after, like 4 is okay, and then like everything after that, like there's no point.
Yeah, no, it's almost like you're plugging a video that we did on Popcorn Theory. Silver Shamrock made Michael Myers a killer. Yeah, it works.
That was not my intention, but it's that's great.
Yeah, it works, but it does work.
So I want to respond to Skywalker's comment. So the big video game, and there's been no news about it since 2023. It's not coming out later this year. They're still thinking about it and working out some stuff. It's supposed to be a prequel to the films, but I don't think it's ever going to happen because it's been a bust ever since 2023.
Oh,
I just
wait,
pulled up
and
yeah, I just looked up the latest news on it, and yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to happen. So, yeah,
fuck.
Oh, that. All right. Well, let's go ahead and let's jump over to some non-horror stuff and see if we can branch out a little bit. And that is talking about Sadie Sink being introduced in the next Spider-Man film as what's her name?
Mayday
Parker. Or Mayday Parker?
No, Mayday.
Mayday Parker.
Mayday Parker.
Mayday? All right. Mayday Parker, which would be Tobey Maguire's daughter from the original trilogy. And
I'm stoked.
Really?
For that.
Really?
Oh, Mayday is a good character, dude, in the comics.
It doesn't matter if she's a good character. Is she a good character for right now?
Yeah, because that'll bridge the gap of bringing Toby and maybe even Garfield back into Secret Wars and all of that, So
How
Well,
does
why
it
do we
make
need Mayday
sense?
for that?
How does it
Um,
make sense? Tell me how to make sense.
because so recently, Marvel finally admitted that they bit off more they can chew with the multiverse. So this will help rein things back in and kind of like maybe bring some of those popular characters back into like one in sync storytelling. Uh Mayday will be interesting because one, not just bringing Toby back, but it's just her. I don't know. You just got to read her story and look her up, and it works with Tom Holland's Peter right now, where he
Here,
is with the world forgetting who Spider-Man is and who Peter Parker is and all of that stuff. So yeah, I think it
here's
could
how
work.
here's how I think it works. She appears in the mid-credit scene or an end credit, the after credit scene, where she arrives in Tom Holland's universe and says, "Hey, we're going through a collision event, whatever the hell it's called,
Incursion.
and you need to come and help." And it's to set up Doomsday and Secret Wars and stuff like that. That's what I think is
Well,
going to
Secret
happen
Doomsday is after Fantastic Four, so then it's going to be
for
Spider-Man
Secret Wars.
after Doomsday.
Yeah, so then it would be the
Fuck.
setup for Secret Wars, maybe.
So okay, here's my thing then, because that builds into the larger thing of like what the fuck is Doomsday and what the hell is going on, because nobody can tell me what the fuck is going on with this franchise anymore.
I just don't care
I
to
have
see
no
Mayday
idea
because
where
like,
this is heading.
to see Kirsten Dunst come back as MJ. It's the worst.
Yeah, I
fucking
could take
MJ
it or leave
I've ever
it.
seen. So, like a Tobey Maguire coming back, awesome. Sadie Sink being Mayday and Mayday coming into the franchise, I don't care. Sadie Sink hasn't done anything memorable enough for me to think that she's gonna shine in the role. So I'll have to watch it and see it. But I don't care. I would rather see Tobey Maguire. I don't care that he's gonna be a father to Sadie Sink's character. I don't want to see Kirsten Dunst as MJ at all. Like at all. I would rather see the universe of Tobey Maguire working with Norman and Otto, and they're alive and they're doing well. That's what I want to see. I don't really care about Mayday, and I Kirsten Dunst in the Spider-Man franchise. Oh my god, he should have been with his landlord's daughter. That's what I think.
I forgot her name, but I did
She
like
made
her.
him
Olga.
cookies.
She was so thirsty for that man. She was so thirsty for that man.
Yeah.
She was
So
good,
I,
man.
Sadie Sink is an interesting choice. I think it fits around the age that we would probably
She's the
see
only
a
popular
Mayday
redhead actress
Parker.
right now.
Yeah. I think if anything, I would much rather, instead of them introducing like a character that isn't, in my eyes, going to really be seen too much of, I would rather them start introducing more of the other Spider characters, like say bring back Sydney Sweeney as Spider Woman, because her they had good potential with that movie, and then it flopped. Yeah, with lenses this time, because that costume was so bad. That was an awful costume.
That costume
But,
looks awfully suspicious, like other types of costumes. I hate that.
Yeah.
Like
I
make
would
the fucking
so much
spider costume.
rather them finally just introduce more story for Peter Parker in the MCU, like have him actually be Spider-Man, because he is Spider-Man now. Yes, like he had his Uncle Ben, moment with Aunt May instead. And that was really powerful, and that was really cool to see. And that, I cried, I wept tears like a man. But like it was also like after that, it was just a big battle where we got to see him be really angry and then finally, accept responsibility and, erase the minds. And now he's back to being Spider-Man. But all these stories that I'm hearing that they're cooking, it doesn't lead into what they're trying to portray as like Spider-Man's going to be a street level hero like Daredevil now, which and that also sucks, because that means we're probably not going to see him in Daredevil. And I want to see him in Daredevil, because what the fuck? like why would they have Kingpin lock up all of the superheroes? Yeah, like that's a big storyline. There's a big
My favorite part of the Tom Holland Spider-Man franchise is the end credit scene when he's a broke ass bitch living in an apartment by himself, because that's Spider-Man. Spider-Man is a
And the
hero
suit
above
is
all his struggles and all of his
fantastic.
solitude.
Ugh.
Everything
Yeah, the
before
suit
that,
is fantastic.
he was just a sugar baby for fucking
Yeah,
Exactly.
he's
That's all it was.
But
He's
they
being
haven't
pimped out.
let him
That's it.
be. They haven't let him be an honest to God Peter Parker. Like they haven't let him play like an actual Peter Parker, where he's like a
Stan Lee would
broke
be ashamed
college
of this
kid
Peter
who
Parker
doesn't
story.
like have money to do this, so he has to like and
Yeah,
like where they showed
a
his
fan
in
of
his
it.
entrance scene in like Civil War, where he was like dumpster diving for technology to build his own shit. That is peak Peter Parker. Love that. Absolutely adore that. And then it disappeared because Tony Stark became such a big influence on him. Granted, I am actually still
Which
a
I
really
hated.
big fan of that
I'm
storyline.
not.
I
not,
like the dynamic
because
between the two. I don't like that
not.
it was so heavy. But
Spider-Man
not
was
because
not
of the fact
as
that
emotionally immature as they made him in the franchise. Like that, he was emotionally intelligent, but he was just an awkward dork. Like that was the thing. He understood the weight and implications of his actions, even when he made mistakes or didn't make mistakes. Like he was,
yeah.
I don't know.
Marcus, what were you gonna say, Marcus?
Sorry.
No, I was going to say I didn't like the Spider-Man Tony dynamic because of the fact they gave Tom Holland Riri Williams Ironheart story. That was supposed to be all Tony and Riri, because Riri was Tony's true protege in the comics. You know, Ironheart was, not Peter. And so now that's why I think the Ironheart series is going to suffer, because one, it's taking too long for it to come out. You know what I mean? And then the way they introduced her in Wakanda Forever, they didn't really show off who she was. And Riri was like, Tony was like proud, like, hey, this girl's about as smart, if not smarter than me. You know what I mean? But the fact that she had no screen time, they screwed Ironheart over.
She definitely was not in that movie long enough. I think that she should have gotten more screen time than she got. You're absolutely right. But I liked what she did when she was in the movie.
When she was on screen, she was pretty damn interesting. Like I was one of the I guess doubters when I heard that she was going to be in the movie, because I was like, fuck, now they're gonna try and cram an entire storyline where we see an AI of like Tony Stark, and they didn't do that. They just went with like she's building her own Iron Man suit, and I liked that. Like it was something like she's just smart. She's just building her own shit. Like instead of directly getting it from Tony, like where it's like she was already trying.
Oh no, she still built it.
Yeah, no,
she still built it, but that was the reason why he paid for her to go to MIT, so she could get a little bit more, because she had already started building the Iron Man suit and stuff on her own, and he found out about it. So that's why he was like, okay, this kid is smart, I'm gonna sponsor her, you know. So,
Alrighty. Yeah, I just want a street level Spider-Man, like Lucas said.
Exactly.
Yeah. We were talking street level crime is is Marvel's best storytelling.
Yep.
It is. For people here, go check out Screen Crush's pitch for Spider-Man 4. It's perfect. Let's look at some of the things we got floating around in the comments. Did you guys know that 2003's Ben Affleck Daredevil movie, that terrible, the R-rated version is a little bit better, just to let you know.
Yeah, the unrated version is a good movie. Yeah.
No, there's two different studios. So, Daredevil is in Fox, right? And then Sony had Spider-Man, so I can't see them being in the same universe. Maybe now, even now it'll be hard to do that.
The
Daredevil's
best
more in the X-Men universe.
implementation of a character race swap was what they did with Kingpin in that movie.
I like Michael Clark Duncan.
Well, yeah, no, dude, he's so great.
He was great as Kingpin. He was great as Kingpin.
He was
scary. That's the coolest thing about Kingpin, is that he's just a dude.
Yeah, I will say Willem did not. Was it Willem did not?
Yeah.
Like him, like especially in Daredevil season 1, but whenever he's in a room with somebody, like you get that feeling in the pit of your stomach. It's like, I feel like something's gonna happen because this man's like truly unstable, and he portrayed that really
that's
well.
Vincent D'Onofrio.
Oh yeah. He's fantastic, and like
he's a real life teddy bear if you watch him in interviews.
Even like he plays like some pretty.
If we were to recast, oh yeah, he's in Platoon, which we talked about earlier.
Oh yeah.
If we were to do a little bit of recasting,
Full Metal Jacket.
Full Metal Jacket. If we were to do a little recasting here, I would have taken out Jennifer Gardner, threw her over into Fantastic Four as Sue Storm, and then taken Jessica Alba and put her as Elektra. So I don't. Noah and Lucas, you probably don't know this, but Jessica Alba was on TV doing the same role as Dark Angel right around that time. So she was an action hero on TV. So that's who should have
Yeah.
been Elektra, I think, Jessica Alba.
That's kind of crazy, actually. Because that would work too. Because damn. However, I will say the OG, the first Fantastic Four movie that Fox did, solid work.
I like
solid
it.
work.
I like
The
both of them.
second
I like both
one,
of them.
I think the storyline got a little muddy, which is why it's
Mhm.
not as.
Yeah, but Silver Surfer was awesome in it.
Oh yeah, he was badass, fantastic.
Yeah,
Though,
Silver
and
Surfer
I'm
was
excited to
awesome in
see
that.
what they do with
Cloud
Julia
Lactus.
Garner in the.
Cloud
new-
Lactus. Cloud
that
Lactus.
Is anybody else like kind of scared for what that movie is going to be? Like, I'm kind of scared for what Fantastic Four is
What,
going to be.
Fantastic Four?
Like, it's like
If
Yeah,
it's the
'cause, like,
movie right before Doomsday, it's gonna have to end off somewhere with something big. And like I can't imagine what that
Yeah.
is unless their universe does get devoured by Galactus.
Yeah,
And
Galactus.
they
Yeah,
end
I
up
think
with
that's what's
it
gonna
already
happen.
seems like they're going down a more serious route with Thunderbolts. Like Thunderbolts, like already brought that serious tone right to
And
the fore.
Pedro, I
Yeah.
trust, man. And Pedro, I trust.
Yeah, I
he
trust
does not
Pedro too.
miss.
Yeah.
So-
But
Lucas
I'm
and I
gonna
were
tell
talking
you.
about this as much as we love Pedro Pascal, John Krasinski in the short time that he played Reed Richards, I think.
Oh
that
yeah, he was
I
good.
showed.
Oh.
I think that
Mhm.
like he was smart, but he was
They
pompous,
just-
which is why he went to Scarlet
they
Witch, like
robbed
black
us.
oak and kill you with a whisper. Like what mouth? And like that. Like I like that. So I don't know.
Yeah, him and his wife. They're already married. They're the perfect
Yeah,
Sue
that would've
and
been
Reed
perfect.
Richards. Yeah,
And
they would've
if
perfectly
they
got
kept Mr. Rosenbach as well as the Thing or whatever his name is, I can't remember how to pronounce his name, but like
Michael Chiklis.
no, the guy who's playing the Thing in the new Fantastic
Oh,
Four
the
movie.
new one.
Yeah,
The new one?
Yeah.
I
Oh,
like
dude from the
a
Bear.
lot. I
Yeah.
love him. He is going to be so fantastic.
Yeah.
I really wish that they did something with his voice. Me and Noah also had a conversation about this. I don't like the way that when he talks like the Thing, he just sounds like a normal dude instead of like having like a gravelly voice. I don't know what it is.
So my
It just
question is this. What are they going to do now that they're bringing Punisher back next year with the one-off, and then they're going to give him a series too? The guy that's playing the Thing was in the Punisher, and he survived. So I'm like, how are they going to do that? He's
Oh,
playing Dan
yeah,
Graham
yeah,
and
yeah.
Punisher's dude in the chair. So
Oh,
like,
shit.
what are they going to do?
Only in the first
I
season.
What are
mean,
they gonna do?
he's in a different universe.
Yeah.
No, it's the same universe. Fantastic Four is going to be in that six. No, Fantastic Four is going to be in the 616.
Oh yeah,
because
yeah,
of Thunderbolts.
Yep.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah.
that's why it would be a different person because because if they're coming from their own universe, it would be him coming to.
Well, Daredevil's tied into
Unless
the
we
616
never
universe
see-
now as Punisher.
Yeah, unless we never see what Ben Grimm looks
Yeah,
like.
I mean, to be fair, we're probably also never gonna see him
We do
as
see what Ben
that
Grimm
guy
looks like
again.
because they showed him in the trailer.
Did they?
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah,
yeah,
as
he's
in the
he's
astronaut
spacesuit.
uniforms.
Recast. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna be honest. I don't think they're probably not gonna bring back that guy for the Punisher. I think they're gonna go for a more solo route for his upcoming
Yeah.
stuff because they wanna start separating him from what I'm seeing in even Daredevil Born Again. Like they're having him join up with Daredevil for the most part, but they're also trying to keep him like separated so that he can do his brutal stuff and stay true to being the Punisher while Daredevil can still be Daredevil and not be like killing and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah,
Would you guys want to
guys,
see Miles Morales?
Daredevil Born
I know you're gonna say yes.
again.
Miles-
Sorry.
I was just getting to this question. So, you guys, they need to bring Miles Morales in. Would you rather Miles in the next Spider-Man or Mayday Parker?
Miles.
If
Well, I
the
would say-
only
I'd say
way
Miles,
I
I
would
don't know
want
what-
Miles in the next Spider-Man, the only way I would want Miles in the next Spider-Man is if they actually went through with the Spider-Man, the Death of Spider-Man storyline. It's the only way that I would really want a Miles Morales in main universe is because it's just such a good story. Like it's such a well-written, like send-off, permanent send-off to a character, and that's they would have to do something like that
In
for
one universe, let's say.
yeah, because like I like how they do it in the Spider-Man games, where
That's
they
what I
have
was gonna say,
Miles
do it
and
like the
Peter
game.
working
I
simultaneously.
love the Insomniac games.
But
Yeah,
I
I say
also
do it like the game where he retires for a little bit and let Miles, take
Yeah,
over for a
well,
while.
if he
Yeah, I
if he
like the
does
Miles game
retiring,
too. It was a
that'd be
bit
cool,
short, but I was okay with that.
Miles or Mom might be introduced in
yeah,
Spider-Man 4.
I did, yeah.
Ooh.
They just cast. Yep. So they just cast an actress in that for Spider-Man 4.
Dude, I got most excited when I saw fucking why am I blanking
Oh
on
yeah, it's
names?
what's her name from the Bear? I forgot that lady from the Bear in Creed 3.
The hell is his name?
Lisa Colon-Zayas,
Mhm.
if I'm saying that correctly.
Yeah,
Oh, when I saw
she's
when
a
Donald
really-
Glover was Prowler in the in the Across the Spider-Verse. That's what
Yeah.
that's what I love seeing.
She looks like Miles'
he's Prowler in
She
MCU too.
does look like Miles' mom. Yes.
She looks like Miles' mom.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's a good cast right there. Who would you cast as Miles? Because I can't think of anybody.
the dude from
Speakore's too
no
old.
name. Brand new actor.
well, I was gonna say
Yeah.
the kid
Brand new
from the kid from well, he's not Puerto Rican though. But the kid from Cobra Kai, I thought would be a good Miles. And then the actor who voices Miles, even though he's too old, is
And a creep.
pushing to play Miles.
I wouldn't. I don't want him near that. I'm gonna be so for real.
No. I'm not talking about from Across the Spider-Verse. I'm talking about from the Insomniac games.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
There was a perfect kid for it. I don't know how old he is now, but it is the kid from. Let me put this on screen here for you.
Oh shit.
Vampires versus the Bronx. This kid is probably the person that should be it. So let's see if we can get a good.
But
picture
you
of him.
know who's campaigning?
No.
Yep.
You know who's
this kid.
campaigning for Miles though?
What?
The actor from Renzi Felice from The Penguin who played Victor. He's campaigning because he's Dominican, but yeah, he's campaigning hard to play Miles, and I think he would do a hell of a job.
Yeah, this kid right here, he should be Miles. I liked him. I really enjoyed him on screen. He did a really good job in that movie. So I think
Look
he'd
up
be able to
Renzi
pull it off.
Felice. Look up Renzi Felice. RHENZY FEL. Yeah, there he is. Yeah, he's campaigning for Mouse.
He's too old, I think. Too old though.
Najee Jeter.
Look how old is Tom Holland? They're about the same age, dude.
The voice actor for Miles in Spider-Man's name is Najee Jeter. I can send that to you if you want to try and spell that.
It'll come up. There we go.
Yeah, he's been campaigning to play him.
Yeah,
Too.
he does.
Him too?
He's also one of the people.
Wait, is that the kid from Grown Ups 2?
Holy
Looks
shit!
like
It is.
Yep.
That's Chris Rock's son from Grown Ups 2.
Well, he was in the first one as well.
Oh yeah, he was younger though. Yeah, he was younger.
That's crazy. That's so
I mean,
funny.
he could probably do it. He does look like Miles.
Oh, we got
I'm okay
another.
with that. I don't think I do Shanique more.
Got another interesting factor. Did you guys know that the 1994 Spider-Man cartoon and the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man are actually the same Spider-Man in their own franchises? And
Yeah, well, because I think what the story was that the cartoon got so popular that they wanted to do a movie, and so they based a lot of the designs and everything off of the cartoon, which is why Spider-Man has the more angular lenses instead of like the big ones that he had at the time in the comics. But yeah,
I
it was
did
pretty
not know
cool. A lot of kids were very happy about that.
So Tobey Maguire Spider-Man is the same Spider-Man from the cartoon. How does that add up though? Because they both have
It's like
origin
it's a
stories
movie
that differ.
adaptation of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was a really good franchise. That's another cartoon that they need to continue with X-Men 97.
Yeah, dude, that would be pretty sick.
Yeah.
That would be pretty.
I think
sick.
that franchise that cartoon was better than the original X-Men cartoon from the 90s, and I watched both at the same time, going back to back so I could finish them and then watch X-Men 97. I would love to see the continuation of Spider-Man from the 90s cartoon.
No, he wouldn't. No, he wouldn't.
Yeah, I'm also not a fan of that. He's been brought up. I'm not a fan. I think that Najee Jeter is my number one.
Yeah, I mean, even though I like that Caleb actor, he wouldn't be a good one.
When he was younger, probably.
Nah, not even
so,
it.
Here's my thing. Do they
when he was younger? Probably.
That's taller than Tom Holland though, because
No.
Miles is supposed to have. Yeah, Miles is supposed to have like.
Yeah, you can.
The, shorter end of it. I guess
You have to get somebody that looks. You also have to get someone that looks younger than Tom Holland.
Yeah,
That's
they would
gonna
have
be a
to.
problem.
They would have
you
to get
can't somebody
someone
shorter than
like
Tom Holland
young.
because Tom Holland is short. He's 5'7".
Well, yeah, I know, but like, well, here's the thing, though. They would have to find someone, especially if they're just introducing Miles. Like, this is like his origin and everything, or not like not.
Also,
I guess
Miles is
not his
taller
origin. Like,
Mhm.
okay, but like, if they're gonna be introducing Miles, I think they have to introduce him at the age that he was first introduced, which he was like 13 years old, and
Yep,
that just
that's
made
what they're gonna have to do.
Nah, he was
made the story that much more.
Nah, he was like 16 in
I thought he was
16.
no in the comics when he was first introduced.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant the first game. Yeah, the first game he was like sophomore in high school.
Yeah, when he was like a 13-year-old kid and he was like he was genuinely like scared of what being Spider-Man meant. That was like peak Miles Morales storytelling.
Well, you
And
know what?
then it just kind of went
Hold-
downhill from there, and the movies really just like picked up.
If you think about it, because of the fact that they had his uncle in Homecoming,
Yeah,
and they mentioned him, he may have been
that
like
was a missed
already
opportunity right there.
13 then, you know what I mean? Because Homecoming and now, by the time the new movie come out, he would be about a junior, senior in high school or going to college. Yeah, so.
All right, CG is some Marvel news. Did we see Galactus looks like in the new Fantastic Four? I've only seen this picture,
The back of his head.
the back of his head, and his foot. His foot.
Is there now a full picture for him?
I'm
I don't
looking
know.
it up.
I don't know if there is. You think it would be all over the place if there was?
Well,
Right?
there he is, the
Um,
fart cloud that's swallowing the planets.
Oh my God.
I've seen his foot and I've seen the back of his head.
And
So,
also, he
So
looks
far,
like
the
he's
back of his
going
head
to
looks
be
good.
much smaller in this movie than a lot of people
Well, he can
think.
change sizes. Keep in mind that's
He
something
can
that
change
he
sizes,
Yeah,
right.
that's true. That's true, but I don't know. He just looks like, I don't know.
He can be that size. He's been that size before. Like when he was originally introduced, he was that size, but he can change sizes at will.
well,
I
this
think it
was
just
dropped
requires
on
more energy.
this was dropped on Reddit today.
Is that
Okay.
official?
The Marvel updates. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, it looks like it. So
Okay.
here
Right,
we got
it's not
tweet
bad.
out there,
He
too.
looks pretty cool. I'm okay with it.
Nah, I don't
As
think
long as
that's
they do, like, a
official because,
Marvel
like,
picture like this big.
I don't think it's official.
I'm not gonna lie,
One, because of the fact that they
Mhm.
got him looking like the actual actor, and I don't think they're gonna do that in the movie. Personally, I think he's gonna
Let's
be
see if there's
CGI in
any
the
other
movie.
news around.
You know,
No, I don't think so. Like, I think they're going like old Godzilla route there, where we see him walking
You
through a
think so?
miniature city.
The smaller
Yeah,
diorama building
I
to
think so.
destroy.
So you think they'll mocap him?
Yep.
You think they'll mocap the actor?
That would be
Okay.
cool. I would hope so. That would be really cool if they did.
I would appreciate it more.
Galactus from.
Oh,
I
yeah,
love
there it
the
is.
actor.
Promo art.
I love the actor that they got for him because he
It's
was
promo
in
art,
Game
so
of
he's going to
Thrones.
look very similar to it. It is promotional art.
And when
so,
this comes out next month? Oh no, in July. Okay.
man, July 25.
comes
Yeah,
out
dude,
2
it
weeks
comes
after
out like
Superman.
what? Yeah, like why did Superman's shooting themselves in the foot with that release time?
I
think
don't
it also
know.
might have been
So Superman.
strategic by Marvel.
Look at that. It segues us into CG's second half of that question. So Superman is actually tracking to make a lot of money right now. Let me see.
I mean, it's going to make its money, but like if you and I told Dave this, guys, and everybody listening, if y'all look up Tyrone Magnus on YouTube, he analyzed this other YouTuber's video of clips from the trailers and how I won't say he's necessarily ripping off Zack Snyder since they're friends, but he's very much inspired by Man of Steel, where it is a shot for shot, like identical scenes of Man of Steel and Gunn's Superman, man. And so, yeah, a lot of people are kind of pissed off about it. You know,
Dude,
I still don't like the suit.
For DC
I still hate the
Universe.
suit.
The suit looks
It's
bad.
tracking to make $175 million domestically. So
yeah, it's going to make his money.
For the love of God, guys, just put him in a
it's a big
fucking skin tight suit, put on some fucking trunks, give him a cape, and let him fucking go. Like, they don't need to keep on making these weird baggy ass jumpsuits for these characters. Like, I don't know what the fucking point is. Like, Superman is supposed to have such a physically imposing like stature, and he just looks like a guy wearing a costume.
Alan Richardson, that's why I keep saying it. He's a big fucking dude, and he's got a bubbly personality in real life. He's just like Superman.
The guy who's playing Superman got fucking ripped. He is fucking shredded.
Look, the suit makes him look smaller. Because like when you see him, so when you look at him in the trailer, he looks big, but then you see him in his suit, he looks small.
I think that's the problem with all of the suits in this movie. Like every scene that I've seen,
Everyone
with all the
except
other
for
guys in
Mr.
the suits,
They're padded.
Everyone except for Mr. Terrific. Mr. Terrific is the only good-looking one.
Did you all hear that Gunn and them listen to the fans? You saw what they did in this latest trailer compared to the first teaser they
I haven't
released.
watched the latest trailer. No,
I haven't watched.
So what they did? Do you remember in the trailer where you see somebody throw a can at the back of his head?
Oh yeah,
And
he
hits
doesn't
him.
flinch anymore,
And he-
dude. It's
Yeah.
Who fucking cares?
Thank
All right.
No, but that's a major thing because
No,
he's not supposed to be able to feel it. Where in Man of Steel, it was more of like Clark being annoyed that the fact that the guy did it. He's like, "Fuck, I don't want to fuck this dude up." Where in Guns, he actually flinches at it, like he actually feels it. You know what I mean? So it's like people were complaining about that, like and they even took out Crypto jumping on him. They cut down how many times Crypto jumping on him because everybody was like, why is he making that noise? Like, when Crypto is jumping on him in the snow. So they cut that scene down too. So they're obviously listening to the fans, complaining.
We'll see the final product. Scott's like, I think they should stop making Superman and Batman movies and concentrate on the Spider-Man franchise. I'm probably going to get a lot of anger, but I don't care. Concentrate on Spider-Man. Yeah. Well, that's two different studios.
It's not up to them.
Spider-Man does get such a back burner in the MCU though, and it's so annoying. And I know it's like it's licensing issues, but like it's just it really is just hurting the pockets of these companies because we want to see Spider-Man, but you keep doing stupid shit that's bothering us.
Yeah.
And we saw peak we saw a peak storyline laid out for DC's animated universe for the Dark Apocalypse War. Such great storytelling. It was a little fast paced. They could have had a couple more movies, sure, but also it was an animated franchise. They could definitely incorporate stuff off them. Granted, Snyder was trying to do that, and albeit it wasn't a great, in my opinion. Like you could do it, and also nothing but DC. Yes, it can be dark, but for the most part, the only like visually dark parts of the universe is Gotham. Everywhere else is very bright and bubbly. But so like not I wouldn't say bubbly, but like it's so much more like I don't know. Like I'm not gonna say that I'm not entirely not interested in this new Superman film, but I'm not gonna prioritize going to the theaters to see it. Go ahead, Lucas.
Brother, I'm not gonna lie. I was really hyped for this movie for a while because I was like, oh, you know what? I really liked Guardians 3. Superman, James Gunn has good potential with that, like I've seen him do good character work, However, the more that I see these trailers, the more that I'm not really seeing it's lacking substance. That's what I feel. It's
maybe
like
surprised. We may be all hidden.
Super fucking shocked by this movie too. It could be like god tier storytelling. You never know. Yep. James Gunn likes to whip shit out of his ass with this kind of stuff. Guardians 3 was fantastic for no reason. He did it because he could. And it turned out really well. So maybe this will be another story where it's like we're kind of iffy and then it turns out really well.
I'm hoping that it's good because I grew up loving shit. I busted my head wide open in my Superman pajamas when I was 5 years old, jumping off the bunk bed, and so I'm hoping it's good. Again, I just don't like the suit personally, but I'm hoping the actor is successful. Personally, I wanted Tyler Hoechlin personally to come from Superman and Lois to be Superman in Gunn's universe, but again, fingers crossed. I hope it's good. You know what I mean? But I don't have high hopes for it.
I mean, at the end of the day, I always wish that they gave Henry Cavill more like reign to be like Superman.
Next to Christopher Reeve, he's my favorite, man.
He was a really big champion of trying to get Superman to be more optimistic in these movies instead of being like down all the time. And they just never gave him a chance. And that's what we were going to be seeing with him versus Black Adam and stuff, where we would see a more optimistic leading Superman. And we didn't. And now we have the guy that looks like just like him.
Yeah, he's like everyone's like, oh, he's so difficult to work on set. It's like, why? Because he gets casted in video game or superhero type movies, and he knows the fucking source material, and he wants to make sure that fans enjoy it, which is why he was such a hard ass during the Winter show. Like, he was doing it for the people that were gonna watch the show, which is why the first 2 seasons did so well, or the first 3 seasons, whichever ones have. I mean, it's like it did well because he knew what the fans wanted, and like they're getting upset with that. It's like. This is being a on set and actually like trying to respect the craft. Like there's a difference.
So Shannon, I don't know if you saw it, but that Christopher Reeves documentary. I saw a trailer for it. Nope, that's the only thing I'm gonna watch of it. That trailer. It looks so sad. I don't feel like crying for that movie. But yeah,
I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it, man. After watching the trailer, I was like, I can't watch it, man.
That and that Stan Lee one that's coming out about his like mistreatment.
That one just makes me mad, honestly. Like
that one's gonna
really angry.
Me. That one's gonna really upset me. But yeah, no, I mean,
he's talking about like Disney and all them exploiting him in his final years, like for cash, and like it's just so angry. It's so infuriating and so heartbreaking at the same time.
I'm gonna end the podcast pissing you all off about James Gunn, but let's get to this question here. What's your thoughts on Neve Campbell being casted to play the character of Marvel?
Yeah, she's playing. So it's not in the movies. So people are getting confused. It's not in the movies. She's voicing Polaris in X-Men 97 season 2, X-Men 98, which is awesome. I would love to see her in live action. But
It's Magneto's other daughter, other than Wanda. For all you X-Men fans out there.
When does X-Men 97 come out? Like,
I think it's later this year, like after the summer. I think it's in the fall or something like that.
Okay.
Unless they pushed it back to next year, but I thought the plans was like in the fall.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like Neve Campbell. See here. I like her voice.
And you know she's coming back in Twisted Metal season 2. So.
Yep. Shannon says the documentary was good, but sad. That's why I'm not watching it. It's too sad. All right, I think we're gonna call it, and I'm gonna piss everybody off to call it on this too. If we want to talk about it, we can talk about it. But so the rumor is James Gunn is writing a Batman movie.
Oh yeah, I already knew that.
I heard about that.
You already knew that?
Yeah, it's Brave in the Boat.
I knew about that when we were talking about the whole like Matt Reeves Batman situation, and that's when I was like, so they are full throttle going into like making a completely different Batman movie.
Because I'm still seeing updates on the Matt Reeves Batman still. So I don't know
if James Gunn writes it like he writes his previous movies,
which are not all good. So
that's not going to be. That's not going to be. That's what I'm saying, because a lot of his previous movies have been good because he likes to focus on character building now and like building like these found families in these movies like that.
Yeah, because Suicide Squad 2 was basically just a shitty version, a Temu version of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, and so like if he writes it like that, I really truly don't want to see that movie. But if he decides to take
props
more serious
Guardians
approach,
and Brightburn, great films.
Exactly.
However, Brightburn was an amazing fucking film. I really wish that they had that there was a sequel, that they were going to like expand that movie. But it never happened because then they were like, Brightburn 2 is going to be written like that script. And then that went nowhere. But the first movie was really good. And Guardians progressively got better. But he
wrote Creature Commandos pretty well. But Creature Commandos is another story.
Since we're talking about
that's the thing. It's a same thing.
James Gunn best movie. James Gunn best movie was with Zack Snyder, and that's Dawn of the Dead 2004.
Yeah, that's we got Dawn of the Dead, we got the Scooby-Doo movies, we got 13 Ghosts.
Oh yeah.
Let's see, we got Slither. I know you were talking about Slither recently.
Scooby-Doo. Oh yeah, I love Slither. Yeah, Slither
Super was okay. But then you got Movie 43. Like Movie 43 is an absolute.
I didn't know he wrote Belko Experiment.
He wrote.
He wrote Belko Experiment. I didn't know.
Yeah, Belko Experiment was pretty good. But
yeah,
He
Belko.
wrote Chainsaw or adaptation.
wrote
Wait, there's
the-
an adaptation of the
game. What the fuck?
No, it's an adaptation.
Look.
Guy. He made an adaptation of the game. What?
Well, look.
That's-
Here's an interesting one. He wrote Lollipop Chainsaw, the video game that came
Yeah.
out. I
He
saw it
wrote
on
the
here as
game?
I was going through. But so Belko Experiment's not tough when you have Battle Royale as your your guide blueprint there.
Well, that
So
and
that's-
Mayhem
that's
was around
yeah.
the same time. Yeah.
Yeah, Lollipop Chainsaw. So that's pretty cool.
But it says
Movie
adaptation. It's like an
43, horrible.
adaptation of the video game.
Maybe it's a book.
Let's click on.
No, it's
the
a video
video
game.
game.
So yeah, he wrote the
This
game.
needs to be made into a movie. Yeah, this needs to be a movie.
Lollipop
That's
It
a
should be a
little
show. It
badass
should be a show.
character.
Fun movie.
And also the
It should
head,
be
the
a show.
talking head.
It should be a series.
Yep.
Because the
Oh,
story is
mhm.
so. Yeah, the story was wild, man. Yeah, it should be a
Yep.
series.
All right, so that's it. That's it. We're calling it. We've been on for a little over 2 hours. Great conversation. Hopefully, you're all enjoying the news. The news seems to get a little bit more views than it does when we go through the ranking. So we'll see what comes out to news this week. If there's a good, 6 or 7 topics, we'll talk about that. Thank you for staying around for some of the comic book news too at the end. So we're trying to expand outside of just talking about Scream all the time and how much Lukas hates Halloween. But
I'm ready to
Wait.
get down into
I did hear about
Sinners.
that
We need to
cat
break
news.
down Sinners. Everybody needs to
Yeah.
go see Sinners so we can break it
We're
down.
gonna have
man.
to have a good. We're gonna have to have a good long talk about that one
I gotta-
because
I
that
kinda
movie
wanna
has
see it again.
so much to talk about.
Yeah.
That movie also got me in my feels. Like that was such a good that was a good family storytelling movie.
It was
God,
so nice.
I love that.
It was like genuinely Ryan Coogler did such
Maybe-
a good job with that movie.
maybe we do a special. Like we one day we do our live stream and then we record a Sinner special and just release it out of order.
Hmm.
All right, everybody. Don't forget to do the liking and the subscribing. Don't forget that you don't have to click on the notification bell like everybody tells you because we're in the subscription feed.
But
we
it'd be
appreciate
nice.
you. Yep. We appreciate you tuning in with us every week. Have a good one.
Take care, everybody. Be safe.
Oh, yeah, man. I don't know. Marvel movies scare me.
Yeah. Yep.
That's 'cause
Fantastic Four. I
you
saw.
don't know if they're gonna be good anymore.
Yep. I saw that Sue Storm was pregnant in the new trailer. It's like, oh, we're going here really that quick.
Yeah, man, we're getting there.
Well, you know why they